when you walk away, you don't hear me say, is it ooh baby or please baby?
I think it's please.
Don't go. Heyo! It's No-Stalgia Podcast with Adam.
And Talon.
Today we're covering a game that I thought was the dumbest shit my entire life. Do I still think so? Well, you're going to have to keep listening to find out. All right? This is No-Stalgia Podcast, and we're covering Kingdom Hearts, the original, the first. And by that, I mean the fourth remastered version on the PS4. We're playing Kingdom Hearts, the HD final mix on PS4. Talon so graciously provided me with 1.5, the HD 1.5 plus 2.5 on the PS4. This is like the hardest naming and chronological
so it's the Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5 HD remaster for the PS4.
And I'm playing the first game, which is Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix.
Correct.
We're just gonna call this Kingdom Hearts, though.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So a little background. Kingdom Hearts is the action RPG developed and published by Square Enix, or originally when the game came out, it was just Square or Squaresoft. But it's still owned by Disney. So it's a big crossover event with Final Fantasy characters, Disney characters, and some of the later games, and the new games now, Pixar and The World Ends With You. The series is still headed by Tetsuya Nomura.
Wait, what? The World Ends With You? That other game? They're in that?
They're in Dream Drop.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Anyway, the series is headed by Tetsuya Nomura, who most people might know. If you do know that name, he's the character designer for most of the Final Fantasy games, and this was his first project lead on a game, and it obviously did very well. But his name's on many Final Fantasy games, and he's the reason a lot of characters are designed the way they are. Originally, Kingdom Hearts was released in the US in September 2002 for the PlayStation 2, which is crazy. It was a long time ago.
Yes.
It's not a normal RPG like most other Square games. It's not turn-based combat. It's hack and slash action combat. Much more focused on movement and abilities. So, yeah.
Let's just jump into it, shall we?
Let's just jump into it.
Where do we go first? Technicalities? Just kidding. Tech.
Yeah,
the game.
Yeah,
the gameplay.
Yeah, let's go into gameplay.
Oh, wait, before I do that,
okay.
So something else. So just to describe how I play this game, I wrote, I did a lot in this game. I did way more than I expected to. I got to 50 hours within this video game.
Which is a lot in Kingdom Hearts.
I beat it in 15, so that says a lot, okay? So I played through it on standard difficulty. I got most of the trophies in the game. I had collected most things. So I got all Dalmatians. I got all Trinity points. I got all character minigame and enemy articles in the Jiminy Journal. I synthesized every single item. I got the Ultima weapon. I got every Keyblade, staff, shield. I won all 4 cups while also beating the Hades Cup in both time trial and solo mode. So that's the big 49 level cup. I beat that in time trial and solo mode. I defeated the Ice Titan. I defeated Sephiroth. I defeated Kurt Ziza, I think his name is, in the desert. I defeated the Phantom at the clock tower. I defeated the unknown hoodie dude who it was like Darth Maul with a black red light, lightsabers and stuff. I got every single Ansem report. I got sword to level 100. So those are the things that I did. I tried to fully do this game so I could talk about everything, and which I don't do in most games that I don't care about. And this one, it seems that I have cared about this because it suckered in about... Because I'll say again, I beat it in within 15 hours. It was kind of near the end. And then for the rest of it, I was like, whoa, there's a list here. And if I do things, it checks it off. So I'll just do that for the rest of my life. And I spent a lot of time fighting a random getting all the hard to find items and stuff like that. That stuff I liked. Anyways, that's what I want. Oh, the thing I didn't do was Gummy Ship. It's the only thing I didn't do. So I didn't get all the blueprints and I didn't do every route.
Which doesn't matter.
Who would in their right mind would enjoy / do that? Anyways, gameplay.
Gameplay.
You want to talk about it or?
Yeah. So, like I said before, the game is much different than most Square games. It is an action RPG. So run around, attack, jump around, platforming, stuff like that. Not you walk and run.
Yeah.
What was that?
No, sorry, I was trying to put my water down very safely so it wouldn't make noise, but...
run around, attack. You get new abilities, you'll get new skills that grant you access to new areas. high jumps, all sorts of movement options, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So gameplay, I guess.
Hey,
it's hard to.
Yeah, I'll talk about my experiences with this.
Yeah.
So for me, playing this, I'm not used to a lot of character action games and stuff, running around in third person, hitting stuff. But Kingdom Hearts was very simple. With like
simple and clean almost.
Hey-oh, roll the song when you that's beautiful. But like I got into it, but it took me a very long time. Mainly my biggest issue was within any battle or any interaction, I was fiddling with the menus like crazy because I kept pressing the wrong buttons. As in, like trying to heal myself or use spells and everything mid-battle was like the biggest chore for me. I hated going through the menus to use an item if I had to. 2 fixes that. By the way, I'm on 2 right now, but like 2 gives you like a shortcut where you can use an item. And in 1, you have to like scroll through the menu, find the item, choose who you want to use it on, and then like confirm that. Yeah. And, like all while you're in a fucking huge mess of a battle, and I fucking hated that. That like killed me so many times when I had to do that. Or like me running around a battle trying to find the right button. It took me forever to like actually like memorize the controls. I was constantly like jumping over shit or using an item when I didn't want to because I forgot I was still on a screen. Like my cursor was on the wrong thing and I was like meant to hit someone, but instead I take a fucking ether when my MP's already filled up. So then I get smashed and killed. I have to redo the whole goddamn battle or something like that. That shit happened all the time in the beginning, and it was like, oh god, I was so pissed at that. I hated that. But like eventually I learned the game's menu stuff, and like I still don't like it. I look back at Kingdom Hearts and think like that's dumb. I don't like how you have to navigate the menus to choose those things. And I know that you can have like the 3 spells categorized on your little like shortcut thing, but most of the time, sometimes I needed more than that, you know, because I always have a cure. It's like you would have cure and then 2 other, maybe an attack spell or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then, but like other times, it's like once I learned about the defense skill, I wanted that on the time, like have it all
arrow.
Yeah. I wanted that to, you know, have that going around me all the time. So then it was only one slot for like one attack move, and it was just frustrating. So
for anyone, I didn't explain the UI much. For anyone who's never played Kingdom Hearts, like Adam was saying, the combat and the basically like the interaction, the menu when you're playing is very odd. You do have your health and magic in the bottom right corner, and it upgrades obviously as you level up. It gets bigger, stuff like that. On the bottom left corner it's basically kind of like a window with 4, I guess, decisions with it. If there's attack, there's items, magic, and whatever else it is.
Summon, I believe.
Summon.
Yeah.
Or at certain points when you're running around, it's sometimes like a special interaction. Mm-hmm. And certain bosses, it's special interactions. And so basically, if you want to attack, your selection on that menu has to be sitting on attack. Otherwise, you're selecting items or you're selecting magic, like Adam was saying. So a lot of times when you're maybe panicking or you get hit and you kind of freak out on your controller and you hit the camera, the button to switch, it can get kind of annoying when you're trying to attack and you open up a menu. Mm-hmm. It's pretty aggravating. It is much better in KH2 immediately, the way they fixed it.
Like later on you learn it, but like it's not something I want to learn going through the first part. I'm like, this is just like the reason I keep dying. Like once I memorize how to do this, I'm fine, but like it makes the beginning parts of the game so fucking annoying.
The menu is very kind of frustrating at first to learn, but once you have it, it becomes pretty second nature like any game. But it is a very odd menu choice, and it is cleaned up a lot in the sequels.
Yeah, another thing, there's a lot that annoyed me about this game. Okay. I will not lie. This game annoyed the fuck out of me. And constantly I was like, this is a bad game. This is a very bad video game. On multiple occasions. One thing that made me angry was I was annoyed by like the early vague decision making that is made on the island about the like how experience is gained in your game, or like how or what item you want to use. Like, okay, there's the location where you have to choose staff, shield, or sword.
So do you want me to
sure explain it? Yeah.
So in the beginning of the game, here, let me go through my notes. There's what's called the Awakening, and basically it's the first thing you can do in the game. It's a really, really simple tutorial, and one of the first decisions it gives you on 3 pedestals, it gives you a sword, a shield, and a staff. Mm-hmm. And what those do determine basically how your stats are going to develop through the game, whether they be attack, defense, and life, or magic. and you choose one to kind of excel in and one to ignore, basically. And it's really unclear what those do.
Which is like already confusing. Why not just choose 2 and the other one gets ignored? You have to choose one I want to keep and choose one that I'm not going to keep, which means the third one I'm going to keep. It's like, why not just choose 2 and the... Whatever. Okay, keep going.
And it's really unfortunate because there's no stats in this game. Unlike there is in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah.
Where... so this is another thing. I actually just found this out personally about a day ago or 2 days ago. I was actually watching a speed run of Kingdom Hearts 1 done at SGDQ. How strong your magic is throughout the whole game is actually directly related to how many magic points you have.
Okay.
So it's kind of like if your life bar was bigger.
Yeah.
If your magic bar is big, you're actually doing more magic damage.
Okay.
Which is weird.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, so if people want to do magic most of the game, they want to do the staff, kind of like that.
Yeah.
It also determines what skills unlock and when they unlock as well.
Which is very dumb. I do not
Which
like
is kind of annoying.
Yeah. Because if you're like me, I went for a sword because I'm like, okay, I'm going to play this through this game. It's mainly like hidden people. So sword's probably what I want. And then I had to choose something to throw away. So I was like, I want to know about magic too. So like, I'm going to throw away the shield, which was like the biggest mistake because I felt like a glass cannon constantly getting hit. I barely use magic anyways. And then like, not choosing the shield locks it away to learn like later on. You have to be like level 30 or 27 or something to learn it, which is like, for me, halfway through the game.
Yeah.
So, like, I was constantly in situations where I was like, I wish I could just fucking block this enemy that was attacking me, especially on boss fights when, like, an attack is coming. It's like, if I could just press a button to defend myself, I'd be fine. But I have to roll away. And, like, half the time I'm rolling into the enemy, or half the time, like, I'm rolling and the enemy is like just chasing me to hit me anyways. So it's like not having the block shouldn't be an ability you should learn. Block should be something that should be on your character at all times. It doesn't make any sense to like lock it away later. And even when it came later, I had already learned to fight without block that it was like no use to me. I never used it because now I had like buffed or like created my guy into the point where it's like, okay, I'm just going to run in, do as much damage as I can and get out. You know, that's how my character was built. So then like, and when I got blocked, it's like, this is just useless unless I'm fighting like one person with a sword, which happens like a couple times in the game.
Like twice.
Yeah. So it was like, but like, it would be very helpful early on because there was multiple occasions when I would be fighting a single enemy, it's just me and an enemy. And I'd be like trying to run. I wish there was a block, but there wasn't. So I'd like roll, get hit him again, roll, get hit him again. Like there was it felt like there was no preservation of my life. It was just constantly trading blows, especially in that early occasion. So like if you were to play this, definitely choose the shield to keep because not having the shield, that's what I did in Kingdom Hearts 2. Is the shield's the first thing I went for. Yeah. So it's like, man, I really hate that. And then like, it just seems like, that block, it feels like the defense shouldn't be a thing that you would want to, like, throw away. It shouldn't even be an option to, like, I don't want to do defense. It's just like, I feel like you need that in this video game. Until, like, later on when you, like, gain the abilities and learn the movements not to have to use it that much. But, like, you really need it in the beginning. And I didn't have it, and it made everything a chore, an annoyance, and I hated it.
So the second part of Adam's strife in the beginning part of the game was that after you get out of the dream, basically, you arrived on Destiny Islands. And the first thing that happens on there, before you really get to explore, is you have these conversations with 3 characters. All of them being from Final Fantasy games, like Titus and Waka.
Yeah, this is dumb too. I didn't even talk about this.
So what happens is, when you talk to them, they each ask you a question, and there's answers for each. I think 4 answers for each one, or 3 answers.
Yeah.
And basically what happens, how you answer these questions determines the EXP gain, so your experience gain throughout the game. Doing certain choices nets you really high experience early game, and others net you like even experience, and the other one nets you really high experience at the end of the game.
Yeah.
So it doesn't, and they really have no correlation.
It doesn't explain it.
It doesn't explain it. It just kind of
asks
you the question.
Because I thought when I asked it is like difficulty. Like I thought that's what it was when I was first getting asked.
When I was a kid, that's what I thought too.
Yeah. So it was like, which would make sense.
Yeah.
So like I don't even remember what decisions I made, but when I was trying to get to like higher levels and stuff, I was like, dear God, I hope I chose the right decision. But I kept thinking about how dumb that was.
Yeah, it's very unclear, and it's not the best way to do it. A lot of people don't like it, but if you know what they are, then it's like, oh, okay, you can make the right decisions. But not knowing, going in blind like Adam did, it's annoying.
Yeah,
it's extremely annoying. So that was more mechanics and some of the
there's like
the
other
technical sides of the things the game does.
I have a lot of griefs with the beginning of the game, but I could save that for more for story.
Okay.
But like other little things about the like gameplay that I did, like first of all, I think like the gummy ship thing is dumb as hell, and like
do you want to get into that once we get more into the levels, like going in between each level?
Sure, we can save that. Then we'll save the gummy ship mechanics for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Then other little things that bothered me, especially when going back and trying to like fully clear routes and get things that I missed. Like you can't open chests during battles.
Nope.
Like you can do that in 2, which is like of course you can, you know. It became so annoying because if you want to go back, it's like, oh yeah, I missed a chest. You have to go back, especially after, because I did a lot of my clearing out and finishing stuff after Hollow Bastion the first visit when I had like all the Trinity points or whatever. So I would go back to places, but now the entire world has been overpopulated with the hardest enemies. So that means I had to go into areas and fight really difficult enemies. It took me a while just to open one chest, and a lot of times it was multiple waves of difficult enemies, which made like going through and finding chests like a chore. And then of course when I open a chest, there's like a shit part, which is like though it's like the ultimate slap in the face.
Yeah.
You know. So
here's a high potion.
Yeah, exactly. I don't need that.
Yeah.
I don't. There's probably like some data reason why, but like it feels like you should be able to have 3 party members in most situations. Like,
well, in the new game they're doing that, but it was probably a data thing.
Yeah, I mean, you
AI,
mean
like
that's
like
what
a PS2 limitation.
I figured, but yeah,
or they just kind of like the 3-man party system, because it was Donald and Goofy, so they probably wanted to keep that.
Which makes sense, but I wish like both those characters were there to interact with whatever third character is being introduced, because a lot of times like I want to keep Donald always because he's like my healer, so that's who I always kept. Because who like I say healer in mass like the biggest air quotes of my life, because like he never healed me, or like I would get hit and be like Donald, come on Donald, that'd be like getting my ass speared, and then he'd be like wah! And then finally heal me and like thank you, and then I get hit and then it's all gone anyway. So that was annoying. But yeah, because like most of the times I wanted to hang out with like whatever new character. It's like of course I have to bring whatever new character in this world
Tarzan,
with me. Yeah, exactly. Like and like I don't like, so I'd swap them out with Goofy and stuff. But I wish I had like all 3 of them there, because like to have their bonuses, and it still does that in 2 right now, which is like whatever. I just whatever, man. And then so maybe I should say this for like I'll just kind of go by it briefly, but I felt like this game was very difficult for the first stages, like for the first ring of worlds, until I got into the second ring. Then it became fun and enjoyable and like easier. But like for the first like half of this game, when I was in like, you know, going through Wonderland, the Olympus Coliseum, and like
Deep Jungle,
sort of the deeper jungle, this is where it kind of stopped. But like it was like, this game's really hard, I'm dying a lot, like I don't understand what's going on. And then like finally when I went to the second area, it got easier. But then when I got to Hollow Bastion, it like all came up for me again, where it was just like,
Hollow's really hard.
Yeah, like multiple waves of enemies that are very difficult, that are like fly around, you can't even hit them, because like there's no real range attack, which is also annoying. Like you have to use magic skills to like kind of hit things that are flying away, you know. So like that was annoying. And also like on boss fights, you can't hit you have to hit their weakness.
Yeah,
you can't just hit anywhere else, which is like cool in some moments, but also like especially when that big dog boss, the Cerberus, like that was almost impossible for me. And
I know I watched.
Yeah, I know. I have a lot to speak of. I'll say that for the story bits though. But that's a lot of my issues with the game. Somehow, like this game still surprises me in the fact that I went through the entire thing and collected everything, and I was like, why? Like somehow this game like annoyed the crap out of me. It was frustrating, exhausting. It was even exhausting collecting the things that I had to go for, but I still did it, and like I enjoyed that part of it, which is weird. So it was like it scratched a painful collectathon itch in my brain that only like Dark Souls could get out of me. And I think that's what I was trying to figure out. Like, why do I like to go back through games where it's like, it needs to be a specific set of things that you have to do for me to be like, I want to collect it all. Like you have to specifically go back to a world that I've already beat with new abilities. Yeah. I have to specifically go back to certain checkpoints within the level, or else I'm not going to do it. I have to specifically get things that are one time only in that area, either through chests or that are just like lying in the zone, you know? I want to feel stronger when I'm going through them again.
Yeah.
It's like if a video game does all those things for me, like I'll try to collect everything in the entire game.
Which it does.
Which it did. Which the only issue was like I did not feel stronger than anything when I was going back because like after you beat Hollow Bastion, it repopulates every world with like the hardest enemies. So then it was just like, well, now going through everything is a struggle.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it scratched that itch, which is like the easily clearable and clearly clearable. By that I mean like you can get everything and then you're done with it. Like there's nothing else you can do.
It's a checklist.
Yeah, like that I really enjoyed. That's like what I was like, oh man, I gotta get everything after I beat it. Which is like which I really enjoyed, but at the same time, like the mechanics of the game frustrated me. So I was like, oh, why do I have to deal with this bullshit to get what I want, which is collecting things in a game that I'm not enjoying, but am later enjoying because I'm collecting things. It was a weird thing that was happening to me. But yeah.
That was a rant. Holy hell.
Well, that's what I was saying. That's what I was confused about. That's why I'm wondering, like, what other games? Because like Dark Souls definitely is that for me. Which is like, I could go through here, there's one-time only things that I'm collecting. Once I'm done, I'm fucking done. There's like, you're not going back. Kingdom Hearts is kind of like that too. So that's why I'm like, what other video games are like that? I should play them and go crazy.
And never have to play them again.
And exactly. So, yeah, that was my in time with Kingdom Hearts. So like, I guess for technicals, like I dealt with it. In most occasions, like later on,
you dealt with the system.
Yeah. Later on, you get abilities to traverse the world that were way easier, jumping high.
It makes the game play a lot.
Yeah,
a lot nicer.
Gliding and stuff. That stuff was very, 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 very helpful. Getting items and stuff. I mean, to get items, the abilities were very helpful. So yeah, it got better later.
It does. It does. It is a very hard start.
Yeah.
So I guess, do you want to go through the story and the worlds?
Sure, buddy.
Quote unquote.
Let's go through that.
Worlds. Okay.
Do you have anything you want to talk about before we get into that, or?
Not immediately.
All right.
I think piece by piece.
All right.
I'll bring up topics.
You want to throw us into the story then?
Sure. So I don't want to spoil a game for people who've never played it. It is an old game though.
But we are going to be spoiler warning because I'm going to be talking about everything.
There's going to be spoilers coming up.
Yeah.
So heads up.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go through the story piece by piece. I'm going to kind of go through the worlds and bring up moments.
Yeah, but I do want to talk about specific things. Yeah.
Please do.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go through the levels. The first one you go into, what I mentioned before, is what we call the Awakening or Dive to the Heart.
Yes.
Which is where you kind of get the slow introduction of the items, the doors, interactions. You make your decisions for the weapon of choice or your stat of choice. And it's also where you encounter Darkseid, the big shadow boss.
Okay, yeah.
Neat thing about this boss, I do believe you don't actually need to beat him.
No,
I think if you get defeated, you get sent to the next part anyway.
Yeah. Well, how would you know you're defeating him? You don't even have like an HP life bar, which is another dumb thing. You don't unlock scan until like later. You unlocked it early, but like the entire time I was like, I hope I know that I'm hurting enemies. Like I have no fucking clue because first half of that game you're fighting enemies and it's okay to lose. So I didn't know like any boss battle. I'm like, is it okay to lose? So then I die and have to do it again. So fucking scan. Why can't you own an HP bar in the beginning? Like whatever.
Anyway. So you fight Darkseid and you can lose because you are level 1 or 2 maybe at that point. And then you go to the Destiny Islands, which is where they really teach you more about the platforming, attacking, locking on. They have a little collecting thing in the beginning where you're collecting ship parts.
And I like collecting. I did not like this.
No. So this is where you're introduced to more of Sora, but you're introduced to Riku and Kairi, who are your best friends on the island.
Yeah.
You are basically, the premise is that you guys want to leave. You want to see another world, and stuff starts kind of coming up a little bit.
There's other characters there too.
There's other characters from Final Fantasy games, which live on the island and they're much younger. It's weird.
Which I didn't know.
Yeah, Titus and Waka and I think Riku's there.
Riki, what?
Riku.
Yeah, Riku's there.
Not Riku. Oh my god.
He's one of the characters.
Yeah, no, I know. No. I meant
is their name
the girl from Final Fantasy X. I forgot her name.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's like 3 characters from Final Fantasy X there. Anyway, Sora starts having weird dreams, and Riku actually encounters a door. There's a secret door hidden behind like a little tree in the Destiny Islands. And you don't know this at the time, but the main antagonist is kind of telling him like, hey, you should open that fucking door. And when he does, that's when Heartless start attacking the island. Yeah. And you start fighting enemies, blah, blah, blah. After a couple that's after a couple days of you collecting shit and doing boring things
there's
on
some
the island.
things in that, like, my first impressions was like, I'm with Sora being the main character because, like, whatever, he's kind of like a just, you know, I feel like Sora more opens up in the beginning. They're supposed to be teenagers, I think.
Yeah, they're like
they feel
13.
like
they're like 13.
Yeah, they look 5 and
Yeah,
they talk like they're 5 years old. You know. By the way, also Sora, I only learned later, is voiced by Haley Joel Osment.
Correct.
Which is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
And
I was,
Kyrie is Hayden Panettiere.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
And then I forget who the voice actor for Riku is, but it's
Yeah, I
another
forgot his
child star. And same with Ansem is voiced by someone. But I thought the voices for the main characters were actually very good.
Yeah,
you know?
the cast for the big thing about Kingdom Hearts, the cast for the voice actors are actually it's cheesy, but it's very well done.
Yeah, like,
And they have some, like, James Woods is in the game.
James Woods does Hades and shit like that. They bring back some of the older characters.
It's not Robin Williams for Genie, but it's the guy, I forgot his name, the guy who did all the Aladdin movies and, like,
he does a good job with it.
The sequels and the other stuff, like the direct to
yeah.
like TV movies.
I was surprised by how well, like, Sora was portrayed, and I was like, oh, I wonder what character this is. And it was crazy that it was Haley Joel Osment, which is, like, it's weird to think that, like, that bearded dude is, like, still doing voices for Sora in the new one that's upcoming. It's just like, oh my god, that's like, and he, like, I'd never seen him talk about it, so it's like,
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, but anyways, like, my first impressions from that was like, I didn't like Riku at all. Like, they did not seem like friends at all on the island. He seems like
He's
a
a
bully.
dick.
Yeah, he seems like just an asshole who, like, does not like Sora at all. I'm like, am I supposed to care about this? Which is, like, made me looking for Riku through, like, most of the game. Like, should I really care about this asshole, or, like, me looking for, or having to deal with him? It's like, oh, you're my friend. It's like, you guys did not look like friends at all. And then collecting all the ship parts was dumb. And then also there's a beginning race that you had to do with Riku to run over.
Touch the star and back.
Yes, which was like, I played with my brother, and I restarted that part like a billion times because
It's annoying.
Because he says, like, whoever blah 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 gets to, like, use the special love rose with Kyrie.
The fruit.
Yeah, which, like, my brother, I remember telling me, like, my brother was like, oh yeah, a lot of things get decided on the island for later on. That's what I know about this game. So I'm like, oh fuck. So I need to make sure that I do this race correctly. So, like, I did it a bunch, and then I finally beat it because, like, God, doing that race. That's like, the platform with, like, the worst
Platform.
Yeah, with the platforming ever. Like, you do a little baby jump on the things, and, like, you're slower than him, and God, it was so annoying. And then, like, half the time I would always run back and be like, oh, you didn't touch the fruit or whatever. And I'm like, motherfucker. So I had to restart again. And then sometimes I missed the little thing. God, that part was so annoying. But I beat it successfully. I got to name my ship Big Marble. I was very excited about that. And then, you moved on. That's when the Heartless attack. And also another thing. It's weird that, like, later on in Kingdom Hearts 2 and shit, like, Destiny Island, or the places, it even is revealed as like this in the first game, like, it's inhabited. I thought, like, Destiny Island was like Lord of the Flies, where it's just like only children who are stuck on this island and living together. But, like, there's a scene where it's like, come down for dinner, Sora, and I'm like, what the fuck, is his family there? And then, like, he's with like he's on like a little, like, in his own room, and I thought that was so confusing. I was like, does he, like, live with a group? I thought it was just the kids that was a community. But then, like, in 2, you see, like, there's a whole fucking beach life community. It's like on a different island or something. It's weird. It's weird.
Very odd.
Yeah, because it felt very empty, and, like, that they were the only kids alive or something.
Yeah. So after the Heartless attack on Destiny Islands, you fight Darkseid again.
Yes.
And you do have to beat him. He's the big old shadow boss. He just looks like a normal Heartless, just in, like, jacked form.
He has, like, a heart in him.
Yeah, he's got a big old heart chunk missing out of his chest. And then after some little story points with Donald and Goofy, blah blah blah.
That's also, I will say, I'm gonna keep butting in here.
No, please.
That's when because I played this at the beginning with my brother, and we were like, ooh, Destiny Island. But then when I saw the stuff with Donald and Goofy and, like, whatever their kingdom was, I was like, whoa, this is cool, because it felt like an RPG with, like, Disney characters.
Yeah.
So that's when we're like, oh, whoa, this is cool. The king's missing. And there's Minnie, and there's Donald's girlfriend, whatever her name is. Daisy. And then I was like, this is really cool. And then, like, it cuts back. It's just like, what are we gonna do today on the island? We gotta collect some wood and crabs. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Why? I want to know what's happening over there. So that kind of, I like the Disney stuff way more, especially in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, they should have, like, started with that shit to draw me in, but instead it was whatever.
Sora.
Keep going. Yeah.
So then they go into Traverse Town, however you want to say it.
Yeah.
And this is where you start getting, right away you're introduced to Pluto.
Yeah.
because he kind of wakes up Sora and finds Sora. And then almost immediately you meet Squall, or Leon from Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah.
This is kind of where more plot-heavy stuff comes in. You kind of start getting this weird, like, there's hearts involved.
Yeah.
And you meet the Heartless, and he gives you, like, a more concrete battle. And you can win or lose this fight, I believe, as well.
You could lose against Leon. I did.
yeah. You can lose against Leon. And this is where you start meeting. You meet Aerith. You meet Yuffie. People are starting to kind of figure like, oh, the Heartless have appeared. We don't know why. There are other worlds, kind of stuff like that. Donald and Goofy meet, I believe, Aerith. And then you guys are going to meet up. Something happens. Heartless attack. And you go into a big center of a town where all three of you meet up finally. Donald and Goofy get smacked off like a ledge and land on top of Sora. And they meet, and then almost immediately you had to fight a big old boss named Guard Armor.
Yeah.
Who's very annoying.
Yeah.
He's annoying. He's got like he's like Rayman. He's got like 4 like floating limbs and a big old body piece. He's not the hardest boss, but he's hard early game.
I actually didn't have trouble with this guy. I remember. He's
not super difficult.
No. But I was annoyed by how he handled. But I didn't have that much of an issue in fighting him. But I have a lot to say about Traverse Town.
Yeah, say it.
Which I did not like.
Go for it.
Well, like my impression upon Kingdom Hearts was that like it's the whole idea of traveling between worlds. I always thought that like the worlds would be doorways, like because we see the doorway in the island. I'm like, oh, that's a doorway to like the Disney World or whatever. That's how we're gonna find all the characters and shit. I didn't know that you were actually like getting in a spaceship and flying over to different worlds, which I think is like immensely lamer than like going through doors, because there's something about like, oh, it's not like a magical like door that you're going through, because that's what I thought Traverse Town was. I thought it was like a hub for the rest of the game where like you'd find sections that's like, this is the town for Peter Pan. This is where you're gonna find like the Lost Boys are gonna be selling shit to you. It's kind of all themed like that, and then here's the door to get into Neverland. You know, I thought that's how it was gonna be, but instead Traverse Town is like this weird sort of Disney. It's like a little bit of, it's a small world kind of design.
Yeah.
And like I like the thought of like going through doors.
It looks more like a Final Fantasy town.
It does, and it feels a lot more
with like Disney kind of like
aesthetics.
Disney colors.
Yeah,
like nice wood.
Yeah, exactly. And the I think Traverse Town sucks. I hate how like going through it in the beginning, it felt like lifeless. There's like 3 people you can talk to in it. Most of the areas within it are like crowded with Heartless, which I thought as you continue, I was like, oh well, once I clear out the Heartless, I can like shop, like life will return to these shops and I can buy stuff from the hat store or the hotel. Like you never do that. Like they're always infested with Heartless, like most of the town is, which is dumb. And then like I thought there'd be like more Disney characters. You really only find like the kids, Donald's or cousins, or
you meet
nephews. Sid's there
from Final Fantasy, and then you find the Dalmatians.
The Dalmatians are there in their own, and that house is hard to find. I was like, when I was trying
up in a corner.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck?
You meet some.
You meet like Merlin later.
You meet Merlin later.
Yeah, and then that's about it, I think. And then the Moogles are there.
Yeah.
Which I was confused because like when I first saw those, I'm like, I feel like I've seen that before, but I didn't know what it was. And then I looked it up. It was like Final Fantasy. But First Down, like. Going back there, it's like always nighttime too, and I really like the music, but it makes it feel really sleepy and peaceful, but like no one's there. It feels almost like nightmarish in the fact that like it's uninhabited and there's just monsters all over the place. It feels like some fucked up town.
Not a lot of people.
No, so like going over there was almost depressing every time to like get items and stuff.
So after you beat Traverse Town, after you beat Guard Armor, that's when you get introduced to the gummy ships. You can make your own or just do the starter one, whatever. And you have 2 choices immediately, and it's either Wonderland or Deep Jungle, right?
Olympus.
Is it Olympus?
Yeah, because
Deep Jungle
is like you have to beat either.
So it's Wonderland or Olympus Coliseum. Which one did you go to first?
I went to Wonderland first, but let me just say about those gummy ships.
Okay, go for it.
Like, I hate
first
them.
time gummy ships.
Yeah, hated them. I thought like there was barely any control within the flight maneuvering to like kill enemies.
Is that right?
Felt like I could barely move around to get things that I destroyed. Felt like there was just a bunch of dumb obstacles. It felt like everything was randomized when I was trying to go through it. It was like useless. Just took up time. Gameplay that I didn't care about and didn't come in for, and it was required every time I wanted to go to a new world, which was annoying. Until later on when you get a warp drive where you don't have to do that shit anymore.
Yeah.
But like the gummy ships, and also the gummy ship just looks dumb. It's just like blocks.
It's just blocks.
Yeah.
It's very simple.
And I thought I would enjoy the making of a gummy ship because I really enjoyed nuts and bolts, like Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts. But like I didn't want to do it because it's not what I came in for, you know. So like collecting, it's like cool. I never changed my ship. I beat the game with the same starter ship. Like I didn't touch it once. I didn't add anything.
It'll probably make it way harder.
Yeah, so it was difficult, but like I still beat it because like the levels aren't overly difficult either because most of the ships don't shoot at you until like later on.
Oh, yeah.
And you could easily dodge out of the way because it's just like a simple, you know, like little thing.
It's a little square.
The gummy ships are done better in 2, but I still don't like them.
Yeah.
You know, they just feel like why are they? Like, why is this here?
It's a little more interesting, but yeah, I totally understand.
It's dumb. Anyway, we can continue with Wonderland.
So you get into Wonderland, and almost immediately you find, I believe, Alice in a cage.
Yes.
And the Red Queen is like, we're gonna cut her head off.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? She stole what? She stole her crown, or what was it? I forgot what she stole, supposedly. And almost immediately, like, no, she didn't do it. And heartless attack, and trying to help Alice out, and then the Red Queen gets pissed off, and she tries to attack you with the cards. It's pretty crazy. That world's really interesting because it also introduces you. No, it does not introduce you to Trinity. That's in Traverse Town.
That's in after you beat Deep Jungle. It's the first time you get to use it.
First time you get to use it. But
Yeah. You know, first time you get a new one, you get it in Traverse Town. Yeah, never mind.
But so the game introduces you to a lot of like weird things, like the doors, and you open the doors, and because it's Wonderland, a lot of rooms get flipped. There's a lot of weird Wonderland stuff like that where you sit in a chair and something happens. There's a lot of more difficult areas to traverse. A lot of annoying fights with like the mages and stuff that are introduced for the first time, like the red mages, stuff like that. What do you think of Wonderland?
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it? Yeah, you didn't like
Surprising.
Do you want me to talk about the end boss fight?
No, we'll get to that.
Okay, go for it.
Because I thought Wonderland was like a horrible first impression for like Disney worlds within this video game. Because you do Destiny Islands, you do Traverse Town, you're still not really in there, but it's like, okay, give me my first Disney world.
Yeah.
And like, here we come with Wonderland. Wonderland feels like the better choice than Olympus Coliseum because it's like a 90s thing. It's like Hercules is kind of a 90s movie. Like Wonderland, hey, that's like old Disney. 50s. Let's see what they do. Yeah. Exactly. So like, going into there, I was really excited because I'm like, cool, I get to see all the things from, you know, Alice in Wonderland. But like when you land there, it's like all the rooms are very small, like playing field wise for until you like become small yourself. But like all the rooms are small playing fields. All the like furniture is like flat textured. It feels like it was like done last minute. Like you walk around, it's like everything's just flat on the ground. It feels like you're just going through empty rooms. I got really worried when I went into like you go see the queen and stuff, and she's just in a box of a room, and it's painted like it is far away. You know, it's like painted like it is like a big room, and I'm like, I hope every fucking world's not like this because like this sucks.
Yeah,
I remember like that's how I was introduced. I'm like, God, this is lame. This is horrible.
It's very much just for Wonderland, though.
Yeah. Thankfully,
Wonderland like kind of looks painted like a book on purpose.
Yeah,
it's weird.
It just doesn't come off well because I mean like I like when the games like experiment with like stuff that happens in the movie. So like drinking the potion or whatever to get small. That was cool.
Yeah.
But then like I didn't like interacting with such a big flat like empty space when you were small, and then like going in to talk to I didn't really like you didn't really have much interactions with the Alice in Wonderland characters. Like you barely talk to the bunny, the doorknob you barely talk to. You kind of just mainly talk to the Queen of Hearts, who tells you to go find things like Cheshire Cat.
Fucks with you the whole time.
Yeah. Like you barely even talk to that guy, and then like you want to talk to Alice, but she disappears like that. So it was bad character interactions. Like the forest didn't feel like fun at all.
Yeah.
Like the castle didn't. You basically only get the forest, and like later on you can get to the place where like they have the tea party, but like those characters are stuck in a painting anyways. Yeah. So you can never actually talk to them. Yeah. So I felt like you were getting like a piss poor representation of Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
It didn't feel good at all. And it was also very confusing. I know it's supposed to mentally be like, it's like, hey, that's Cheshire Cat shit. Like it's supposed to be confusing. Yeah. But like that didn't help for the first level. I was like just frustrated trying to figure out where the hell I was supposed to go or find the things that I needed to.
Backtrack a lot. And go through stuff.
Yeah. So like, it was just such a after I went through that, I was just like, I hope the rest of the game's not like this because this sucks. And then you have to fight the boss.
So the boss, I really dislike this boss the first time I played this game. The boss is called Trickmaster. It's basically like a weird kind of not Joker, but like circus looking thing
Mm-hmm.
that juggles its crazy like bowling pins, I guess.
Yeah.
This thing can hit hard pretty early game.
Yes.
You're supposed to take it out with magic.
Mhm.
It's super weak to thunder, which I believe you get at Olympus Coliseum.
Yeah, I know.
So it's a really difficult fight without magic.
Yeah.
It's a pretty tough boss. It hits hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a weird big area, and really the only thing you can do to get and hit it in its face is there's a chair and a table.
Yeah, they hit the spawn because it goes away because you can hit it away. Because like what would happen is you jump on that table and then hit him once, and then you'd fall to the ground, and then he'd hit the table away.
Yeah,
which was like annoying. And like you can't hit him in the legs since he has a weak point on his face, so you have to jump up and then do like a 3-hit combo. Most of the time, like the start of your combo won't even hit the enemy. It'll be like only the last hit, which will barely do anything to him.
Yeah,
which was like, God, so annoying. I hated that boss too because I used a bunch of magic, and it was just like, and then like it took me a while. I had to like relearn. I was like, okay, how the fuck? I had to like look online. How do I kill this boss? This thing was like killing me millions of times. I did not understand, but eventually I learned. I didn't even learn. I just kept trying and then beat it, you know? It was just... That was like another thing where it's like, oh, here's the second boss. Like, this is equally frustrating, and it was like a horrible boss. This wasn't even like Wonderland-esque. It was just like... I mean, like a little bit, but it didn't feel Disney-esque at all, you know?
No.
So it's just like...
The enemies aren't Disney.
Yeah. Eventually later, though, you do fight like Disney characters.
You do fight... Well, yeah, Wonderland's not about, like... I don't want to say combat, but no Disney movie is. But, you know... in Aladdin or anything, there's a fight scene, quote unquote.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, you do fight the cards in Wonderland. But yeah, but whatever.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, we can move on.
So after you beat Wonderland, you can either go straight to Deep Jungle or go back to Olympus Coliseum. So I'm not sure where you went from.
I went to Olympus.
You went to Olympus.
Yeah.
Okay. So Olympus is actually, you don't have to go through Olympus in this game.
No.
It is a side thing you can do, but it does get you some decent gear, and it has some really cool moments. I think it has some good moments in it, like story wise and character wise. So go for it, Adam. How did you feel about Olympus College? There's not much to it. It's really just you go in there, you talk to Phil because he thinks you're Herc. You do some like little box mini games, little like barrel mini games where you have to break them all, and then you get entered into a tournament. You meet Hades. He puts you into the tournament. You see Cloud and he's all angsty and whatnot, and then you can go through the tournament piece by piece throughout the game.
Yeah. I did not like Olympus Coliseum.
You did not like Olympus Coliseum.
I did not at all. I felt like it halted any feeling of like progression. And it was like you were stuck training for a tournament that you had to like restart if you fucked up, which was annoying at my level because I was like always getting hit, and I was like, oh, I wish I had a guard thing so I wouldn't get hit. But it's like now I have to make sure I survive a multiple amount of levels so I can go fight Cloud, who killed me anyways. I don't think you were supposed to kill Cloud because I think I could continue.
You can beat Cloud, but either way, at the end of like the first kind of time you go there, you fight Cloud. And whether or not you beat him immediately after they send Hades sends Cerberus out. Yeah. And Cerberus is an annoying boss.
This one's like very difficult because his weak points are on his head, which you have to. It's like same with Trickmaster. You have to like jump up in the air to like hit his thing.
So he has 3 heads, and you have to hit him, and he's constantly attacking.
Yeah, they're always biting, so you're gonna hit it anyways. And like you can jump on his legs, but it's later when you have the higher jump. Because like I couldn't get up there when I was like originally fighting him. And then like he has like he shoots fire down if he's walking around. And then he also like barfs darkness, which hits you, so you have to run away from that. That boss fight, he has like way too much health. It takes too long. It's too hard to fight him. That was another like annoying thing they had to go through. Had a lot of trouble with that. I didn't like Olympus Coliseum. I actually thought the character interactions there were shitty. Like we only talked to like 2 characters. Like you talk to Phil mainly, you see Herc, maybe he says like one thing to you, he doesn't really care. Like Hades talks to you for a little bit, which was cool, but like then he's gone. And then like you see Cloud, who barely speaks to you. He looks cool, but like you don't do shit. He just beats the shit out of you. And then you're like, I wish I was like better at this game because everything kills me. And then you have to go fight Cerberus, which is like really hard because then you can't progress unless you kill that thing. And like Olympus is so small, it's just like a room and then like the fucking arena. And then even going into the arena is like, well, kid, I gotta make sure you're good. So you have to fight like boxes. Yeah. Like I feel like I'm good to fight the regular enemies. Like why do I have to do this dumb training shit? Yeah. Oh, God, it was so dumb. And then
Olympus Coliseum gets a lot better in 2.
I hope so. But like going through that was annoying, and like that's what I'm saying. Like the first fucking Destiny Island, Traverse Town, Wonderland, Olympus Coliseum. Like, it was all bad. Like, all of it was, like, not fun, enjoyable. And I was like, what the fuck? Why am I playing this video game? And then you get the Deep Jungle.
Deep Jungle. So, after Olympus Coliseum or Wonderland, you can go to the Deep Jungle, which immediately starts you off in a fight, basically. But what Deep Jungle is Tarzan.
Yes.
For nobody who's played the game. And I believe it's immediately you have to do a fight with Sabor.
Yes.
Which is the leopard. And that's just a kind of a quick fight too. Nothing crazy. He can hit hard.
I was scared about that one.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, oh fuck, because if I die, I know I'm getting back.
Yeah.
I'm getting back to Olympus and I have to do this fucking gummy trail again, so.
Yeah, Sabor's a little hard. But once you beat him, it opens up a lot. So it's pretty cool. I believe you get separated from Donald and Goofy almost immediately, but you meet Tarzan also almost immediately. Yes. So you meet Tarzan and you go through some platforming. There's lots of other stuff to do. So
yes, Deep Jungle to me is like the first real Disney World.
Cool.
Feels like Wonderland and Olympus Coliseum are just like throwaway shit. Like Wonderland's like, oh, we couldn't make it in time. Olympus Coliseum is just an arena world. Feels like Deep Jungle finally is like the first, like, here's a Disney World. It's all fucking thought out. You're gonna meet all the characters. You're gonna talk to like almost all of them. They're gonna have their own story. Sora's gonna have his own story. It's gonna be big. You're gonna feel like you're there. You know, there's some mini games associated to the world. Like that should be level 1.
Yeah.
I don't care if you don't know anything about Tarzan. That should be level 1.
Yeah.
You know, like I thought Deep Jungle was great. Like that's when I got back into the game.
Deep Jungle's a lot of fun.
Because I was ready to throw. Like I stopped playing after Olympus Coliseum, and then I was like, I'll give like Deep Jungle a chance, and then I enjoyed it. I was like, fuck, I want to play the rest of these levels. So like, yeah, the world has its own narrative arc with like Clayton trying to kill like the monkeys, and I like that. I actually enjoy the idea that like Sora's stepping into these movies instead of like creating their own narrative form. I kind of like him like trying to solve things that are already happening in the movies we've seen. That's fun with like Donald and Goofy there. So I like that there was this whole thing with like Clayton's trying to kill the monkeys and Tarzan has to stop that, and there's like this back and forth shit. It was annoying traversing back and forth because Deep Jungle's really big, but I also like the idea that's really big because going after
you do the vines, you do the hippos.
Exactly. And after doing Wonderland and Olympus, it was like, can I just have like a world to explore? And that was like it. Because you like immediately like you beat Sabor and then you're up on this big tree house and you could jump down into like the log sliding thing, which is like a lot of fun. It's like, cool, this is his own thing for the world. And like also it just, I don't know why, but like maybe they used it before, but it felt like they were using depth of field for the first time in these cutscenes on Deep Jungle, because then like this game looked really impressive to me. With all the conversations, and I was like, wow, Tarzan like looks really good. Even though it's like in PS2, it's like on the PS4 he looks great.
It's a clean PS2 model. It looks good, which is
like crazy. But the enemies that you fight are all themed to the world. So all the Heartless are designed like monkeys. The Power Wild and the
Power Wilds are really
Wild.
Difficult, and then you have, I think, the little wyverns at the top near the end of the level. Even the boss is designed around kind of like the levels. So I enjoy that a lot. Do you want me to talk about the end of the? Go through it.
I'll just say that there's a good amount of character interaction with and also I forgot to say there's a nice narrative arc with Sora and Donald and Goofy. The fact that like Donald and Goofy want to find Mickey and Sora wants to do his own stuff. So
and
like they're
Donald
always
and Sora kind of
they're at ends, and then like there's a whole little thing at the end. It's like, oh, we should be friends if we're gonna be doing it. So it was a nice. It's like, oh, we get world interactions with Tarzan and everything, and we get growth in both Donald and Sora. So that was like, oh my god, things are happening.
Yeah, it's really nice. So throughout, obviously, it's like Tarzan. So there's also some really fun moments that happen like throughout the movie. You meet Jane. You actually go through the camp. Sabor kind of pops in and out through some of the areas. You actually get the slides, so Tarzan can like learn English basically. Which is fun. Then you go to basically the final flight, which is Clayton
on a stealth.
Well, so there's Clayton. And then he kind of just starts floating, and you're like, what the fuck? And then you fight Stealth Sneak, which is kind of a difficult. I wouldn't say super difficult, but it's It can be hard.
Yeah, it can be hard, but I didn't have that as much difficulty as the last two bosses. Yeah. So because this was on the ground and I can hit it easily, I didn't have to jump up to hit anything. Like it being invisible was difficult, but going through it was still enjoyable.
So Stealth Sneak is a giant chameleon Heartless, and Clayton's like floating on it, and you actually have to knock him off and fight both of them at the same time or separately, and you have to take them out. And then once you're done, you go climb like the side of a mountain basically, or actually Kerchak grabs you and like chucks you towards a waterfall. That's pretty great. And you have to climb up, and then that's where you seal the first keyhole in Deep Jungle.
That's what I'm saying. It feels like the first world because you actually
that's the first time you actually seal it, and then you get your second Keyblade. Yeah. When you seal it, you get your first
new Keyblade. Yeah, because you already have the little one. So that's after that. It's like, oh, this is if I do this. Yeah, because the idea is like, oh, I have to solve problems in every world by sealing the keyhole, and I get my own reward, which is like a Keyblade fashioned from that world. That's really cool. I want to go do more of that, which kind of kickstarts you into the second group of worlds.
Yeah, exactly, which is awesome. Yeah. So after that, obviously, there's more gummy stuff. There's more plot that I don't want to spoil with Disney, Mickey, Riku, Kairi, and other people.
I can't even remember.
And then where is 100 Acre Wood's not there yet.
You go back. I think you go to Traverse Town a bit. You get to talk to Merlin.
Yeah, and he says you can go in there.
Yeah, and he gives you a book, and the 100 Acre Woods is basically like,
it's torn up, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then the next set of worlds, quote unquote, is Agrabah and Atlantica, right?
Yes.
But I don't know if
there is
Monstro.
Yeah, Monstro is in between those.
Monstro's in between, and there's a chance. In the HG re-release, he always comes at the same spot. Yeah. In the original version, he was there like 70% of the time.
Oh, that's cool.
To be like swallowed up. But they made sure you got into it because you get a good ability in there. Yeah. But I'm not sure which world you got to first.
I went to, the first thing you are at is Agrabah.
Agrabah. Okay, so you went to Agrabah. Yeah. So then let's talk about Agrabah. So right immediately when you get there, you see Jasmine like kind of run away from Jafar and I forgot who else. You meet the carpet, stuff like that. You talk to Jasmine. Do you want to talk about Agrabah?
I didn't have much to say about Agrabah.
Okay.
I didn't like it as much as Deep Jungle, but after the high that I got from Deep Jungle, I was fine to go through Agrabah. Something that was interesting was you can actually find a character who will sell you stuff. It's at the beginning of Aladdin, there's a guy who tells you the story, I think, of Aladdin or something.
The merchant,
Yeah, that guy you find in Aladdin's house, but then after Aladdin comes, he's gone. Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is weird. I don't ever remember this, it is strange. But going through the town, it was okay. It was a little cramped and it's kind of vertical, which I don't like jumping in this video game. That's why I until I got high jump, which was later. But I found Agrabah to be it still did everything right though for a Disney world. There was a lot of character interactions with Jafar, Aladdin, Genie, the carpet. It was all there.
Iago.
Iago and Baloo. All of that's there, which is good. Even Jasmine. And what I enjoyed most was you get to go to locations from the movie, and the fact that you go to the Cave of Wonders. Yeah, you get to fight the Cave of Wonders.
Yeah, one of the first things you do, you have to fight the Tiger Head. Yeah, which is the actual entrance to the Cave of Wonders. You have to hit its eyes out. Yeah. And so you have to fight that.
Which is I'll say that's
you save Aladdin.
Yeah, that's okay. That's a fine idea for a fight because you can climb up to the top and hit the thing that's high up. Climb up it. Yeah. The other two, the Trickmaster and Cerberus, you have to just get lucky and hit it high up. This was fine, which was good.
So you get Aladdin, blah blah blah. You go through the Cave of Wonders. You get the lamp. You get Genie.
Yeah.
Or Aladdin gets Genie and he makes wishes to... Or I think he already has it.
Yeah, he makes some dumbass wishes.
Yeah, he made a wish to get rid of the Heartless. This is which is dumb.
Yeah.
For that one fight.
Yeah.
You go back and they have captured Jasmine in the town, and you fight one of the bosses I hate the most in this game, centipede. Which is the pot centipede. Yeah. I hate the pot centipede so fucking much. It's exactly what it sounds like. They're clay pots that sprout legs, and they start attaching to each other, and they hit hard for no reason. There's a bunch of random Heartless that spawn during it, And I kind of like the idea of the arena because it's through the bazaar. It like runs through different areas, but it hits way too hard at some points.
And it's hard to hit.
It's hard to hit. Yeah.
It's like, don't the pots are like defensive? You have to hit specific points.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, it's annoying.
Yeah. So after that,
you go back into the Cave of Wonders, and that's where you fight.
Yeah. So
you have to fight Jafar. You have to fight the genie originally, who's like attacking you.
So you have to fight Jafar with Genie, like Robin Williams' Genie, who's like Jafar has the lamp, and he says, you're gonna take out Sora, and he's like, I don't want to take out my friends. So he's doing it like he did in Aladdin, where he like kind of covers his eyes and randomly shoots. So he's not really a threat.
Yeah,
he's just more like projectiles to dodge. And then Jafar, who you take out pretty fast.
Well, it's hard to hit him because he flies around the arena, and he's like, you have to climb up to hit him.
Yeah.
And if you want to you can't. There's no range besides magic, which is like hard to do because like when you shoot magic, it slowly gets to his target. So.
And then after you defeat him, he makes his wish to become a genie. And then you have the Genie Jafar fight. Yeah. Which is on like a huge, like the level like changes heights constantly. It's like different moving platforms, I guess. And Jafar himself is basically invulnerable to attacks unless you use freeze. But you're supposed to hit Iago, who's carrying the lamp. Yeah. And that's how you break it. You
smack the shit out of
a bird. Yeah. It's pretty great. And then you beat Agrabah. Yeah. And then Aladdin wishes Genie free. And that's how you actually get Genie as a summon. Yeah. Because he comes with you.
And then Jasmine gets captured away or something.
Yeah. And Jasmine gets taken. Nobody knows where she is. Yeah. So I don't know where you went next. So you go out. More gummy shit bullshit.
I went to...
Did Monstro get you?
I think I went... Because I think I was going to Atlantia or whatever.
Atlantia and Monstro.
Hit by Monstro, yeah.
Okay. So, Monstro. So, you get swallowed by a giant space whale.
Yes.
And you go into Monstro.
Typical Tuesday for me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you meet Pinocchio.
Yay.
And Geppetto.
Hey.
And Pinocchio, being a little kid as he is, runs away in the middle of shit. And,
little shit.
Yeah. Riku's trying to capture him.
Yeah, Riku's there.
Riku's there.
You don't encounter Riku that much until you... I think that's the first time you meet him.
Yeah, that's the first time you really meet him where he's like dark Riku.
Yeah, right? He's like, I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, he's more angsty. He looks Cloud look like a happy boy.
I'm a little baby.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Tell us how you really feel, Adam.
I don't like Riku. Is that clear?
So you actually go through Monstro's like internal systems. It's pretty weird and like gross looking.
It looks cool.
It looks cool, but it's like all like purple and blue. Yeah. And it looks like it's just kind of like pulsating the whole time. And basically the whole time you're just trying to get Pinocchio back so Riku can't take him because he's got a heart in him. Yeah. And that's also where you get the high jump.
Thank God.
Yeah, the high jump's pretty great. It basically just doubles your height jump and you do a sweet little backflip when you do it. It looks sick. Yeah. Yeah, there's not much to talk about. You're just kind of going through different systems. It's not a very long chapter.
No, but Monstro is also a chapter that I did not like. Yeah. Because it was like confusing going through all the chambers. Thankfully, the chambers are numbered. Yeah. But like trying to decide what hole goes to which chamber, it's a problem for all of us. Yeah. Guys out there, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know. Cut that out. Anyways, yeah, Monstro was just a lot of it was. And the design of the intestines was cool, but a lot of it was similar. There was a lot of enemies because it was a lot of small spaces that spawned multiple waves of enemies. And like Riku's there and he's just being so dumb and annoying. Yeah. And it's just like, oh, Riku.
So you actually have to fight the same boss twice in this level. So the first time, Riku actually joins you to help you fight. I believe it's called, I wrote it down.
Intestinal or
Parasite Cage.
Yeah.
And it's like
Pinocchio.
It eats Pinocchio and it just looks like a giant like kind of like stringy tooth thing, and that's kind of like almost like a Venus flytrap. Yeah, like for a stomach, and it's holding Pinocchio captive, and you kind of beat it. Pinocchio gets released, I believe, and Riku tries to take him. You take him away, blah blah blah, and then Riku's all angsty again and kind of leaves, and then later on you have to fight Parasite Cage again, and that's when you actually beat him. Yeah. He's not super difficult. He kind of just stands there. He doesn't really do much.
Doesn't he have an annoying area where you have to float on 4 things and acid to fight him?
Yeah, he has a part if you don't like fight him really fast enough. One of his attacks, he kind of just like acid kind of comes up.
It's annoying.
And you have to float there on like lily pads, basically.
Yeah.
But not super difficult in itself.
No.
It just kind of hits hard like anything does early game.
Yeah, the part of the game where like BD, like going through it at like places wasn't that difficult. I mean, like, yeah, it's like when you learn the controls. More. And also, I forgot to mention, but I think it's after Agrabah, you earn the ability to warp drive, which changes the game. Because
you go back to Traverse Town.
Yeah. I would never return to Traverse Town unless I had a story beat there, because you were supposed to go over there to get like potions and shit, but like I would never want to do that because I had to go through the fucking like gummy fields, and so. But then when warp unlocks, it makes the game good.
It's way nicer.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Monstro basically.
Monstro is super short. So immediately after,
I did not go to Atlanta.
You did not go to Atlanta.
I turned tail and went to the cooler looking place.
Oh, okay, so that's
giant
fair.
Pumpkin.
Yeah, so you can go to Atlantica. There is a fight with like Ursula and Flotsam, Jetsam, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You don't really get much.
Well, I'll talk about that because I go back there later.
Okay.
Because I did Halloween Town first, but then we can talk about Atlanta.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
sorry.
Because then I did Atlanta.
So then, on our way to Halloween Town.
Bum, 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 bum.
So this is in my opinion, one of the best. I personally really like the Halloween stuff.
This is my favorite world too.
In all the Kingdom Hearts games.
Because this world feels like everybody's favorite like weird thing. Like it's like it feels like, you know, when you're going through like duh, they're gonna have Aladdin, duh, they're gonna have Little Mermaid, duh, they're gonna have like Wonderland, and it's like it's weird that they have Hercules and Tarzan, but whatever. But then like you hit Halloween Town, it's like this is a weird kind of thing. It's like they didn't have to do this. It's like not really like you don't think about it as a Disney thing, but it's like it's really cool that it's there.
Yeah.
And they go all out with it.
Yeah, it's really good. Your costume changes, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It's great. So Halloween Town's awesome. You immediately kind of come across Heartless, but they're not hostile. And you're like, whoa, what's going on? You meet Jack and the mayor and everybody, and they're like, oh, we're just trying to control them so they can dance at our Halloween party, basically. And you're like, God damn it, Jack, I fucking love you. But so Jack's there. Jack's a pretty strong partner when you get him.
He is.
A lot of it is just going around collecting pieces to make a heart, if I remember correctly, for the doctor, the scientist, I forgot his name. And then Lock, Shock, and Barrel take it, and then you have to fight them in a tiny, cramped room.
Yeah.
But they're not really hard.
No.
You beat the shit out of them You beat the shit out of 3 small children.
It's always good.
Yeah.
Typical Tuesday, like I said.
Yeah. First a giant space whale, then abuse.
And that's just my mornings.
Yeah. Jesus.
But
yeah, talk about Halloween Town.
So yeah, Halloween Town it's probably my favorite level. I love the wardrobe change.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
You all dress up in like Halloween costumes. Yeah. Everyone looks good and appropriate. The music is fantastic.
Yeah, the music's awesome.
I played the PS4 1.5 like redone version, so all the music is reorchestrated. So it was like actual. Was Danny Elfman in that? I have no idea.
No.
Okay, but it was like whoever it is. We're gonna flash a name on. Wow, thank you, Talon. That music was really good, and it made me not want to get in fights because I just loved humming it to myself. I liked interactions with all the characters. There was a lot. It was fun seeing Jack and all the characters. Yeah. I like Jack becoming a part of your party. I love his combat style and also his movements. They looked stop motion animated.
Yeah, they look like Jack. He looks like a weird spider.
The way he's like walking, he's like hunched over, and I'm like, this looks like almost real. Like this looks good.
Yeah.
Like
they did really well with those levels.
Apologies for me saying it's just gonna happen. I have to say like I can't not when I get excited, but like no, I'm kidding. The Halloween Town was really cool. What did I write about? Yeah, appropriate wardrobe change. Music is superb. I felt most in the world. Like I felt I was in
Halloween
Nightmare.
Town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt I was Nightmare Before Christmas. That's what it is, right?
Yeah.
Keep thinking Elm Street.
Yeah.
But I felt like I stepped into this movie.
That would be a very different
really
Kingdom Hearts world.
Yeah, but pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Huh? That guy's your partner. Traversing the areas I found very difficult though, because you had to jump into those small wardrobe things, coffins to switch between, and those you couldn't access them unless you can't access anything unless all enemies are destroyed.
Yeah, you can't access anything, open doors, open chests unless a fight's done.
So you can't run through areas if you need to.
You can't skip enemies unless you know how to skip around the enemies.
Because most areas you can skip because you just walk into it. But this you had to access a coffin to skip into the next area. So later on you could do that right away. There's lifts that you had to power with fire.
You had to activate them, yeah.
Yeah, that you can just jump onto that. But yeah, going through the rest, the town was really cool and meeting the doctor. But they have that. I love, my favorite thing was they had the hill, the weird hill.
Yeah.
And it has the moon in the background.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is just
It's just
perfect.
a nice shot.
This is really cool. And then you have to go through like the into the manor where Oogie Boogie is.
Yeah, so you have to fight Oogie. You beat him.
That's a cool fight too, because that's like just like in the movie when he's all like.
Well, there's
a
couple of different phases because there's that
there
one,
is,
and then there's the.
He's a big
So you fight Oogie, and he does the dice roll on the casino table, and you go up and beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. He's not super difficult. And then you fight him in. He kind of like transforms into like the house.
Yeah.
In the hill that he lives in. And he turns into this big house on a hill, and there's these weird purple blobs. And once you break a couple of them, Heartless start spawning, and you have to go up, basically like Oogie Mountain, and like break these like purple blobs that by themselves don't do anything, but there's a bunch of fireballs and shit spawning at you. Not difficult. The platforming kind of just screws you over at points where you get hit. So you beat that, and then you're good to go. Really.
Yeah, that's Halloween Town.
That's Halloween Town.
Sad to leave.
Yeah, but it's a great level.
Yeah.
Halloween Town's one of the best.
Then we could jump back to Atlantica.
Then you go to Atlantica.
Yeah, then that's when I went, which is also another one of my favorite worlds because I enjoy. Because I would say Halloween Town and Atlantica, they make you feel like you're in the movie, and the fact that they change how you look.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of interactions. It feels like you're really impacting the story of that place. Maybe like Halloween Town less, but like Atlantica, because like you're meeting with Ariel, who's running around doing shit. I think
Also
Chain
angsty.
Memories. Yes. So it's like you fit right in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but
everyone's angsty. It's a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, so you transform into like fish people.
Yeah. So Sora turns
Marine.
to a basically like a dolphin.
Yeah, my brother told me that was his favorite form because then he didn't have to look at his feet.
Yeah, with his big old feet.
Yeah.
Goofy's a turtle.
Which looks wrong.
Yeah, and Donald's a squid.
Which
or an octopus.
Looks fetishized, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll say that. But that place was really cool because also the whole, I thought like water levels is gonna suck, but going through that was really easy.
Yeah, it's not super. You're swimming around. The attacks are fun. Everything's very pretty.
It's annoying that you don't get most of your abilities because most of them can't work in that plane, which was made it hard. But
also at the same time, the enemies aren't super difficult.
No, they were like made to just
very
be like
simple.
Hammered on quickly and then to be destroyed. But the Atlantica felt very large. You could explore a lot of places. And
that has one of the best story moments at the end too. I think like with the Disney characters.
Yeah, and also some of the best. This is what I didn't get. Yeah, this is like most of the worlds should do what Halloween Town and Atlantica did, which is this is the song that you know most from the movie. We're gonna play it all the time.
Yeah.
Because Halloween Town is the theme, and then Atlantica is Under the Sea.
Yeah.
Which isn't appropriate for like swimming around, but they make it work.
Well, because they redid it. It's not just Under the Sea playing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
like an orchestrated version,
not
without the lyrics. And
so I think it's Yoko Shimomura. Shimomura. Sorry, I'm gonna butcher Japanese names.
How dare you?
He was the composer and produced like all the music in Kingdom Hearts. And besides the couple themes that are actually Disney themes or like simple and clean, he did them all.
Yeah.
And the music's fantastic in this game.
Yeah.
Like, well, we'll talk about aesthetic at the end, I think. But this game rules in aesthetic and music.
Yeah. So they played
another part where it comes out very well.
Yeah.
So
music very good.
In Atlantica, it's kind of like the movie. What's her face? Ariel takes his trident, gives it to Ursula. She's like, stupid bitch.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. You fight her with Flotsam and Jetsam.
Which was like it was a difficult fight for me, but I like the way it was composed.
Yeah.
Where you have to...
The big Ursula fight is...
Well, even before that.
Yeah.
You have to fight her, and you have to use like fire and ice.
Yeah, you have to fight fire and ice, take out Flotsam Jetsam. And then there's a huge Ursula fight where she's like massive.
That was really cool.
That one was... The first time I beat it difficult, but the second time it was not. She's not super hard. It's just kind of maneuvering because you get like a speed ability.
She attacks from her face and she turns a lot to make sure she's looking at you, so it's hard to get around her.
Yeah, but you can kind of just wail on the back of her neck.
Yeah. But I like the size of that. That was really cool.
It's just a big fight.
Yeah.
It kind of sizes up for some of the later fights in the game where you're just in this massive arena and the boss is at the far end and you have to like go forward and fight.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. So next, after Atlantica, besides going back to Traverse Town, doing all the extra stuff,
Neverland.
Neverland. So Neverland is exactly what it sounds like. It's Peter Pan. You don't actually go to Neverland.
No.
You're on Captain Hook's ship.
Yes.
And so immediately you get captured. Wendy's there, kind of. You get out.
Tinkerbell. You meet Tinkerbell.
Yeah, you meet Tink.
Mm-hmm.
You meet Peter.
Mm-hmm.
Peter
Pan.
And you kind of try to escape. But one of the most annoying bosses for me, too, is also here.
Hook?
Anti-Sora.
Oh.
So, not super difficult, but I remember dying for whatever reason a lot here. I think it's just because I kept hitting shit in the room.
Yeah.
Because you end up getting out and you go up into the captain's quarters and like Anti-Sora pops up. It's just like a dark form of Sora.
Because that's in the movie, they have like shadow walking and stuff.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly.
how you can become like dark forms of people.
Exactly. And so Anti-Sora pops up in the captain's quarters. You have to beat him, and he can multiply, and he kind of just does. He hits just as hard as you do, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a difficult one. It's just kind of annoying because you're in a really tiny room.
Yeah.
And then eventually you learn the flight ability, so you can kind of fly around in there. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
The ship's tight, but it's fun to look at. And then you fight Hook.
Yeah. I found Neverland to be like another like place because you don't visit Neverland. You're just on a ship, which is kind of annoying. But I would say like the coolest. Well, I'll get to that later. But like going through the ship was okay. It was tight quarters. It's hard to fight anything in here. Meeting the characters is kind of cool. I'm not such of a Peter Pan fan.
Yeah,
but,
I'm not a huge fan, but
it was cool to see like Captain Hook and all the people. You didn't have a lot of interactions with the characters.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, being on the ship was like, whatever, you know. Mm-hmm. And then fighting the Anti-Sora, I'm like, that looks cool, but this fight's really difficult and annoying. Yeah. And then you had to fight Captain Hook, which wasn't like too difficult.
No,
but I have to say that like this level had the fly ability, which is something that like I thought back to like Halloween Town and Atlantica, where Halloween Town you look like you were supposed to be there. Yeah, and that's like the one little thing that like puts you into the mood. Yeah, exactly. Atlantica, like you're swimming around. There's different combat. It's like that. It's like, oh, I feel like I'm in the movie. Yeah. Like that little fly thing was like, oh, that's this level's little spark that kind of makes you feel like, I should be here. Like I feel like
Tink lets you fly. Yeah, and you can just kind of jump and float.
I feel like I'm experiencing this movie. Yeah, you know, cool. By like, able to fly, and like the flight controls are very easy. They're just like anything else. Yeah, you can fly really like away from the ship if you want to. And stuff. It's really funny. And then like at the end of the level, you go to the clock tower. Yeah, that is and that was really cool. I was like, this is like one of the most beautiful things that they made in this game. And the music's really happy.
It's really nice, relaxing.
Yeah. So that was like, wow, this is really impressive. Like that was like the little like that level felt okay, but the flying and like the trip to Big Ben in the end really like put it in for me. I'm like, wow, this was really great. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then dun dun dun.
Oh no.
You go to.
Wait, are you talking about? I see two things here: 100 or Hollow.
Okay, so you go where you went. So okay, I'm gonna listen to where you go.
Before I went to Hollow Bastion. Okay. I went to 100 Acre Woods. Okay. In the book because I collected most of the pages.
Yeah, by then
I don't know if there's a page in Hollow Bastion, but
I don't remember.
Yeah, I went to collect the pages and stuff. And do you want to describe what 100 Acre Woods is? How do you get there and stuff?
That's through Merlin's.
Merlin has a book.
It has a book, and when you add the pages, you go to little segments of the 100 Acre Woods.
Which is Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, Winnie the Pooh. Yeah. Tigger, you meet everybody there. Yeah,
so you meet, most of the characters. Not everybody.
No.
Because you don't meet Rue's mom or whatever. But the 100 Acre Woods... I felt like this was the world that got the most respect out of all the worlds.
I don't know if you noticed this, a little thing. When you're in the 100 Acre Woods, your attack icon doesn't say attack. It says hit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to like tone it down.
That's great. I like that. I used like again. Haha, that one's for you guys. So 100 Acre Woods was fantastic. It was... like other worlds were charming. This was like hitting you with the charm so hard.
It looks like a pop-up book.
Yeah, it's like a little like you are traveling on the pages of the book to go
into the world,
and then you go into specific ones and you find different characters from Winnie the Pooh. First, you meet Pooh and you get to walk around his house and stuff. And I also enjoy how it's only Sora. Yeah, Donald and Goofy aren't there. It's just Sora's adventure through the book. Yeah, and you meet Pooh, and then he's like, "Oh, I gotta find my friends." And he's voiced by Jim Cunningham. Yeah, Jim Cummings, excuse me. Yeah. I hope that I'm saying it right that second time. I don't know. But all the characters are voiced correctly, and I enjoyed. It's just little mini games in that section.
Yeah, nothing difficult.
That's fine what it is. Except one of the missions is difficult. I'll talk about that later. But I really enjoyed. The music was superb. The reorchestrated version is just like super charming and nice. And it was just like it's a nice place to take a breather.
Yeah, it's like
after all
like a relaxing.
Fighting. It's just let's just go hang out with our friends, and they have like little issues that they have to deal with, and you solve them.
No, he lost his honey.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't talk. I mean, you meet most of the characters, but not all of them are voiced. I think it's only Tigger, Piglet, and Pooh.
Yeah.
But just hanging out with them is like so nice. And then at the end, I like when you seal the keyhole. I don't know if you do in that one.
Yeah.
But you just hang out on the hill, and they're like, "Oh, when are you gonna see you so later?"
Yeah,
it's
we're
like,
friends.
Yeah, well, maybe one day. I don't know. And then the book closes, and Sora's on the cover. I'm like, "Well, that's so nice. That's like really cool."
Hanging out with Pooh.
Yeah,
it's pretty great.
I'm like,
it's Christopher Robin.
Yeah.
So then after that, you went to Hell on Earth.
Hollow Bastion.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about Hollow Bastion.
That was just the worst. That was like the beginning issues that I had were all coming back right at the end.
So immediately I have to say this about Hollow Bastion. When you arrive there, almost immediately you see Riku messing with Beast or like beating him up basically. He's all injured. Mm-hmm. And Riku's like, "Oh, you're not the actual Keyblade holder I'm supposed to be."
Yeah.
And he takes the Keyblade away from you.
Yeah.
You are...
Fuck, I forgot about that.
You have no Keyblade.
Yeah.
And immediately after, Donald and Goofy follow Riku because they were told to follow the key bearer. So they don't want to go, but they're like, we were told to do this.
I forgot about this.
And so
dumb.
For like 15 minutes when you're going through like the underground waterways, because Beast comes up and hangs out with you, you have just the wooden sword you started the game with, not even the Keyblade. It does no damage, so you really have to use magic.
Yeah, and Beast.
And Beast is by far the best partner in the game.
Yeah.
He is OP. Yeah, he's OP as fuck. But you can't attack, basically.
Yeah, so you have to wait for AI
or you use magic.
Yeah.
Which is going to be your best bet, which sucks.
Yeah.
That part is really hard in the beginning. It's annoying, maybe not necessarily hard, but tell me about your experience. Hollow Bastion is huge and kind of confusing,
overly complicated,
I would say. But probably one of the most like prettiest places in the game.
Sure. I thought this level was dumb to the max.
Really?
It felt because this is not Disney based. It's like if you felt a little bit of it with the Beauty and the Beast because there's like a library and Belle's there and Beast is running through the castle, but it's mainly just like its own world.
Yeah.
And like running through it was a chore. It's so complicated with the elevators. I hate how you have to sit through elevator animations. If you fuck up with an elevator, you have to wait to get somewhere, and you're like, "Oh wait, I don't need to be here," so you have to wait for the next elevator to or you have to wait for the elevator animation to go until you're at the next part. I forgot about all that bullshit. Just talking about it like brings up memories of madness again. So annoying. It's not like I don't think it's pretty to look at personally. I think it looks just like kind of gaudy and annoying.
There are parts of it that I find really interesting.
I like the beginning. I like the beginning with the water.
That's what you like. The water looks really great, and there are parts of it. Yeah, it is. It's just kind of like purple.
It just feels crazy, generic Final Fantasy to me.
It totally is. It is very Final Fantasy. I like a lot of the internal stuff, like how stuff's placed. But I don't think pretty was the right word. I do really like the water part in the beginning. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
And I like the shot leading up to the castle or to Hollow Bastion. But I guess the level's not crazy.
Well, it's up to you. I mean, not to trample on your opinions.
No. Pretty wasn't the best word. I think it's interesting.
Yeah, I like the going underneath the water.
Yeah.
That was a cool little
really
thing.
Like that stuff.
And I appreciate that they were trying to do something with the elevators, and it's like, this is different, but it was like, why do we have to wait?
Yeah.
Like, what if I get it wrong? And it's hard to tell which elevator goes where with the lines.
Yeah.
It's just like the lines are too thin. My eyes are too small. I'm old. No.
I can't see.
Yeah. It was like, it's just annoying to go through. I thought it was badly designed, and also it felt there should be a Disney level here, like near the end. I feel like, okay, since we'll talk about the ending later, but Yeah, it was just for some of the big final story moments, it just felt like an annoying place to go through. And also, you have to go through it like twice, which is like one of my most hated levels. You have to go through twice.
Yeah.
It was just, and all the enemies there are super surprisingly difficult. That's like that's when I was like, oh, now I'm hitting things that are better than me.
Yeah, the damage output goes up way high.
Yeah, the dark balls are annoying things to fight
because they're random.
Yeah, and the giant dragons and the fucking shields with the faces on them, and everything was hard to fight there, and the wizards too. So it was just...
So some of the first fights you do in that are against Riku.
Yeah.
You fight Riku. He's pretty tough.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing crazy though to talk about, I'd say.
There's like the ending parts of the first visit where you go into the... Or is it maybe the second visit? I don't remember. Where you have to fight Maleficent and stuff.
So you do have to fight Maleficent throughout the... Without all this, there's a lot of story shit that goes down there that I really don't want to talk. I don't want to talk about too much. Adam can bring it up.
Sure.
I just in case it comes up.
Some stuff might come up though.
Yeah.
Just say that now. Yeah. If you don't want to be spoiled by it. But yeah.
You do fight Maleficent. Twice.
Yes.
You fight her once as her normal form,
which is annoying.
But not overly difficult. And then comes what I think is on a standard playthrough is the hardest story boss.
Yeah.
I think, even over the final boss. It's just annoying. You run around because Maleficent gets defeated, and Riku opens up her heart basically to the darkness, and she turns into her dragon form,
which is so hard.
And you're in this tiny circular room, and she hits fucking hard.
And you have to hit her head.
You have to hit her head.
Which is like, this is when I was having flashbacks. It's like the Cerberus in the beginning.
Yeah.
And how much I didn't like the beginning. I'm like, this is a boss that's really hard to fight. He's doing a lot of damage on me. I had to hit one part of it. I could fly up and hit onto his back, which I did. It's like the only way you can really fight it.
Yeah.
And then, God, yeah. That's annoying. Like, I didn't even like the first Maleficent fight where she's floating around and shooting enemies and stuff.
Yeah, but she's not even that bad. Like
it was difficult for me. Like I was having trouble.
Oh, I was having trouble too. But the dragon fight is just...
I mean, the dragon fight is like that much more difficult.
Atrocious. Yeah.
Or it's like I have to like go somewhere else and like rank up myself before I can even try to fight this fucking thing.
Yeah.
Which was like what I didn't want to do because I felt like I was already... I hate in video games when it's just like you get through a hard area and then you have to fight a boss and then like you can't beat it and then like you should go back and grind to beat it. Yeah. I don't want to do that. I want to feel like I hate going back and getting better to fight a boss.
Yeah.
If I'm at a boss in level, I want to beat it then and there. Because that's just like, it feels like the natural flow for me.
You know me very well and how I play RPGs, and I tend to end games severely underleveled.
Yeah. That's how I was. Like, fighting this boss, I was like only half of my level that I should have been or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was not good. And God, that boss was so annoying.
Yeah, she hits hard. She's annoying. You beat her. More story stuff happens. I think you fight Riku a couple times before her.
Yeah, you go. Then you have to go back to
Hollow Bastion because something happens. Blah blah blah.
I don't even remember. But
stuff with Sora and Kairi and.
But doesn't that happen after the second time you fight, or is that?
I think that's after Maleficent.
Okay, yeah. Well, then can we talk about that?
Yeah.
Because that's dumb.
Go for it.
And I don't like it.
Go for it.
I think that after you beat... Is that when you talk about he comes to Heartless?
Yes. So, stuff happens, and basically Riku comes up to you and says, the only reason we can't open the door to get to Kingdom Hearts is because we need Kairi. And Kairi's heart is inside Sora.
What?
And because when Destiny Island basically imploded,
she gave her heart.
Her heart attached onto Sora.
Okay.
Because they ate the fruit thing.
Oh, does that change if I don't eat the fruit?
No.
Okay.
It's not because of the fruit, but it's like
a little bit.
Like Sora reason.
Okay.
Their spirits are intertwined. Their destinies. And so Sora, kind of piecing stuff together, stabs himself.
And unlocks his heart.
Unlocks his and Kairi's heart.
Yeah.
So Kairi's heart and all the princesses' hearts go back to them.
Yeah.
And then
continue.
Sora turns into a Heartless.
Yeah. Can I talk about the princesses real quick?
Go for it.
They're not correct. Because correct Disney princesses are the original era, which is Sleeping Beauty, Aurora, Cinderella, or Cinderella, then Aurora, if we're talking about when it came out. And then there's Little Mermaid, then there's Jasmine, and then there is Belle, and then there's Pocahontas, right? Those are the original 7.
Yeah, but
in this one, it's Alice is a princess, then Aurora, Cinderella, Jasmine, Ariel's not there, Pocahontas is not there, Belle's there. I forget who the other. Oh, Sleeping Beauty is there. Sleeping Beauty, I forgot to mention.
And then Kyrie.
Yeah, and then Kyrie, who was like the princess, quote unquote.
Yeah, secret princess.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? What happened to Pocahontas? They're too
Princess of
afraid.
Yeah.
You cowards.
Yeah.
You won't show Pocahontas, will you?
But
yeah, and then there's all the shit with the Heartless, which is like, why he stabbing himself was so dumb and over dramatic, and then he becomes a Heartless. And
you turn into Heartless, you run through the area with no enemies.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's kind of cool. And then you have to go to find the Donald, and she's like, Kyrie was like, I should hug this Heartless.
Well, because you go up to them, and Donald kind of just like smacks you on the head.
Yeah.
And then Kyrie's like, wait, he's different, and it's like, it's Sora, and you hug her. And then like a huge swarm of Heartless appear, and then like almost kill you, and then because of their friendship / love / whatever you want to call it, they're 13. Sora like
5.
yeah, so Sora like wakes up, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And he's back to human form, and he like the light dissipates all the Heartless there.
Thank God.
Yeah. And then I believe you have to fight at the end of
Did you
Behemoth.
fight Riku before that? There was a fight where next to that portal where you had to fight Riku.
Yeah, there's like 3 fights against Riku.
Yeah. There's
the first one, and then there's that one.
the
which
last
is
fight
annoying.
against Riku was super hard for me.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
Because I like the idea of it. It's it's like a sword fight with another person.
He's
which
very
is like
strong,
when you could use defense, but he doesn't use single attacks, he uses multiple attacks, so you can defend once and then get hit a bunch, which is fun. So then it's basically okay, I have to go all out with this. So I would use special abilities to hit him, and then he becomes stronger the more you hurt him.
He has a crazy desperation attack.
He has the one where he like travels like really fast in the arena and will hit you multiple times from like directions you can't even fathom.
Yeah.
And that was just like, oh god, I hate this. I wish this was over. And finally I beat him, and then went into the portal where you had to fight the churn of.
So this is when you go.
No, it was a Behemoth. Yeah.
Which is basically like a Behemoth, Final Fantasy Behemoth, but like Disney styled.
Yeah.
He just got a big old crystal on his forehead.
Easiest thing in the world.
And you just jump on his back and
hit him a bunch.
beat the fuck on his head. Yeah, it's
fucking
super
so easy. Yeah.
And then you go into what's called the end of the world.
Yes. I'll say also after I beat this stuff at Halabastion for the second time and sealed the keyhole, that's when I did all my other stuff.
Okay, you want to talk about that?
If you want, or we can talk about end of the world.
Do the way you played it.
Okay, so I did that. I went through. Do I have anything else? So then after that, I felt like I had everything to go through the rest of the stuff.
Before we go through this all, do you want to make this like a 2-parter? Because it's kind of long.
I say we go fucking all out.
Go all
That's
out?
what I'm saying.
Okay.
People want to listen. They could watch later. The YouTube will remember where you were. Don't worry about it, man.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
Fine, do it. Go for it.
All right. So, so this is when I went, like, I have all the abilities. I can open all the chests I need to. I'm getting all Dalmatians. I'm getting all Trinity points, you know. I did that. I went and found every rare enemy, Heartless, that I could. Finding all the rare Heartlesses is where I wanted to use to find all the rare items that I needed to get to craft things. I never used Synthesis once until I realized I could use Synthesis to get the best Keyblade. And, like, I wanted to get the best Keyblade because I found, like, I was getting into fights that were very difficult. So it was like, okay, I need to get the best Keyblade. What am I going to do? I need to synthesize everything. It's like to find all the synthesis things, I need to make sure that I can fight these enemies that are really hard. So that means I should rank up too. So I went to get EXP items, like things that ranked my EXP up. But to get that, you'd have to fight like really hard bosses. So I didn't do that. Instead, I was like, okay, I'll go through all the cups. So I went through all the cups. I found them generally easy, but there were moments in the cups that made me want to pull my hair out. I'm trying to think. I think the first cup, the boss is like guard armor. I think the second cup, the boss is like Yuffie. There's one where you have to fight Leon and Yuffie together. That was insanely difficult. Later on, you have to fight Cloud and Leon together. That took like literally 2 hours of me just running away and then like being like, I think I can hit him now, hitting and then getting hit and like all my damage is gone and stuff. That was super hard. God, those cups were so difficult. And then you fight Hades later. And then after you beat Hades, you unlock the boss against the Ice Titan, which was just impossible for me at my current level. I couldn't block the things correctly, and I would get hit all the time. And then I tried to fight Sephiroth. What a joke. I died like in 5 seconds. So once I unlocked all that shit, I was like, I'm just going to go try to craft the ultimate weapon because that'll help me. I'm just going to rank up really high so I won't have to, because I want to be fucking invulnerable against these enemies. So that's when I really spent time. I was running in areas, killing rare enemies multiple times to get all the stuff that I needed, crafting items that I'd need to craft other items. And then eventually I got every single staff And it was hard to get every single staff and shield, because to get every single staff, you need to beat the Hades Cup, which is 49 cups, within the time trial mode, which is like 20 minutes. So I had to beat all of that within 20 minutes. And then there was one where you had to do solo mode, which is also very difficult, which you had to do. So to get all shield and staffs, I did that. To get all Keyblades, I had to craft them and then there's cool Keyblades that you can get. Like there's the metal chocobo one, which looks like a Cloud sword. There's the Lionheart one, which you get from both beating Leon and Cloud. There's, a lot of cool ones that you can get from completing other things later, but eventually I unlocked the Ultima weapon, which looks a little funky. It looks like coral.
Yeah, it does look very fancy.
Yeah, it does. But I would say after I did those things, I got my fucking Ultima weapon, and honestly, after doing all that like hunting and grinding and shit to make sure I can get my XP more, I was already at like level 86 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So then after that, going through bosses were like a breeze.
Mm-hmm.
Then I hit Ice Titan or whatever. I blocked all that shit, killed him like immediately. Because when I had the Ultima weapon, it was easy to go through it.
Yeah.
I beat Sephiroth. He was kind of hard, but he wasn't too hard. Because I was level 100 and I had a big sword and like hitting him. This is when I actually enjoyed the game when I was overpowered.
Yeah.
Like and fighting all these optional bosses. Because then I fought Kurt Ziza in the desert.
Yeah.
Wasn't too hard. Phantom. I like the mechanics of these bosses, by the way. Kurt Ziza's like you have to use magic or physicals against him. I'm saying that wrong. Kurt Ziza, I don't know. Phantom, you have to fight him. You have to stop the clock from going down. If it gets to like 0, one of your party members dies. Yeah. So you have to stop it as you're fighting him, and you have to use specific things against him. That was cool. Unknown, whoever he is in Hollow Bash, and the hooded guy is like insanely difficult.
Yeah, he's super hard. I think he's the hardest boss in the game.
Yeah, I think so. Because I was trying to beat him alone on like my first, when I was like low level, and that was like impossible to do. Yeah. But he has like the red lightsaber and shit, and like jumping around and stuff. That was a cool like anime fight, I have to say. But very, very difficult. But with the ultimate weapon, it was manageable, and I did it. And that was kind of the things that I was doing. I was getting my Sora 100. I was getting all the Ansem reports, reading them. Still didn't understand fucking anything. I was like, cool, this didn't help me at all. But about after that time, I was like, cool, I've done basically everything. Like, I found everything, completed all the journals and shit. Only thing I didn't do was the gummy missions. And I'm like, okay, I'm cool to enter the end of the world. So that's when I hit end of the world. There.
Okay. So we go to the end of the world. And one of the first thing that happens, you go through basically like these levels. They're kind of like teleporters, basically. Well,
in the beginning, you remember there's that mirrored place with all the chests. And things are running down.
Okay. So then you go through like a...
That's all that is.
like an endless void, this chest, stuff like that. There's some bosses. You can fight more behemoths there, actually, if you open every chest. Because you're just sitting in there, basically. You get transported. Yeah. And then eventually you reach Chernobog, which is from Fantasia.
This was really cool. Because End of the World was like dumb, whatever. Like, this has nothing to do with Disney. This is all Kingdom Hearts fiction. This is like, who cares about this? And then you like randomly, it's like Chernobog from fucking Fantasia, and you're flying. I'm like, and like the ball, the song is playing. I'm like, whoa, this is cool. And that was a fun fight. Yeah.
It's not super difficult. No. He does have some strong moves, but it
was a nice little thing that I threw in. It's just like, hey, it's still Disney. Like, oh man, this is a lot of fun. And then it goes back to
it fits. Yeah, that's the thing. That was the best part about the game, is that when they did do things like that, it fit very well. Like Chernobog only makes sense at End of the World.
Yeah, but it also there was no introduction to it.
No,
it was just she showed up and he's there.
Like, boom, you're like, oh,
like, what? Sora's even like, oh, what?
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
Then, oh god, you fight. Go through more shit. You go through an Ansem / Riku fight.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah.
It's like Riku Ansem.
Yeah.
You fight him. You go through the bullshit. You want to talk about?
From what I can remember, you go to Destiny Islands again.
Yeah, you go to the Destiny Islands. You fight.
See Ansem. You fight him.
You do a little Ansem fight,
and then you go into like the mountain of Destiny Island, and you have to fight him without your buds.
So before that, you actually have to fight Darkseid again.
Okay, yes.
There is a Darkseid fight, super easy at that point.
Yeah.
Extremely, you kind of just tear through them.
Yeah. I had my Ultima weapon and I was level 100, so I was tearing through everything. I'll say that.
Then you do have to fight Ansem with like his basically like shadow puppet behind him.
Yeah.
And that thing, without being level 100, is difficult. He does have some crazy moves. His desperation attack is pretty nuts. You can parry him a lot though, so it's not super difficult. I do tend to like the one-on-one fights more in these games than like just big old fights.
Yeah.
They just seem to be more fun for me, honestly. And then after you beat Ansem again,
You have to beat Super Ansem.
yeah, so he absorbs with what's called the World of Chaos, and you fight World of Chaos.
You find him like it's like a floating biological ship.
Yeah,
basically,
yeah.
that
So
he's
it's a
attached
very,
to.
very Final Fantasy thing.
Yeah.
Huge in-game fight where you're flying.
Mhm.
There's multiple I think there's like
You have to fight him, and then you have to fight different parts of the ship, and
yeah. So you have to fight him a couple times, and then they have a before leading up to Ansem, there's like a 7-round like never-ending fight basically that you have to do before it. But fight Ansem, you slowly get your partners back because you started with nobody.
Yeah.
So you get Donald, and then you get Goofy. So you get Goofy and Donald. And then you fight him again, you keep fighting different phases of him where you have to break a shield or you have to break the turrets, and then you have to punch him in the face. It's a long fight. I wouldn't say it's necessarily difficult.
It wasn't at all for
level
me.
100,
no.
you're probably
Which I was
melting.
happy because I was like going through it and I was like, damn, this would be fucking hard if I was like a lower level. I'm so glad because I thought the boss looked dumb. It looked like a dumb fight and I didn't want to do it. So I'm like, hey, I'm glad I can just breezing through this because it looks hard on its own.
Yeah. So yeah.
And then you're done.
Yep.
And then you get to we'll talk about the ending cutscene here. You get to a door. And then he's like, Kingdom Hearts. And I'm like, oh, he said the thing. And I was like, oh, it's a place in the game.
Yeah.
Okay, where all the hearts preside or something?
It's
I have no
Kingdom
idea.
Hearts, and then Ansem's like, he's going to open it because he thinks it's darkness. He's like, no, it's darkness. And then Sora's like, no, you're wrong. It's light. And he opens.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah,
He's like,
it opens and he literally like evaporates.
no!
Yeah.
He gets fucking shot up with light.
It's
and
like
then,
Kamehameha beam.
yeah, it's evaporated. And you're like, surely that kills him. And he's like, just kidding. Or, I don't know.
But
And then the doors are open, and then he peers inside, and he sees there's a lot of Heartless. And he's like,
so
what am I gonna do?
tons of Heartless, and then Mickey and Riku.
Well, yeah, because then you're like, what are we gonna do? And he's like, I'll help you. And
Yeah.
he jumps up, and he has
There's
his
a golden Keyblade.
Yeah, and he's like, woo, woo. It's like, whoa, Mickey, where the fuck were you for my entire video game? I wanted you here. And then he's just like, I'm going away for a while.
Yeah, and then Mickey and Riku go on the other side of the door.
Yeah, because Riku's back there too.
Yeah, so they have to close it from both sides.
Yeah.
And so Mickey and Riku go to like the darkness basically, and they're like, we'll seal it. Don't worry. And then we're like, don't worry, if there's light, we'll follow you, blah, 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 all the good shit.
We'll catch you later.
Yeah. Mickey and Sora seal the door.
Yeah.
And then Kairi kind of is like, oh, disappearing. I'm going back to Destiny Islands.
So so like Riku and Mickey are one side of the door.
Yeah.
And then Sora, Donald, and Goofy are on the other. So they're like separated.
They're separated, and it's not like, just go through the door. It's
No. It's like a closed door.
Yeah, it's like universes basically separating. But when they close the door,
that's when
all the worlds reconnect.
Yeah.
That's the point of it. So all the worlds are reconnecting, so the Heartless can't get back, basically.
Sora sees Kairi like on the little beach thing, and then they have the animated cutscene.
Yeah.
Where it goes, it's like a CG animated.
Yeah.
Different than before. So Sora runs up, he like holds her hand.
Yeah.
And this I actually liked because then this is when everything in Kingdom Hearts clicked for me. This is like I went through Kingdom Hearts being like, this game is annoying. It frustrates me. Like the story is dumb.
Yeah.
I hate it. It's like too simple. Like it makes sense because it's simple, but it also they overcomplicated it with all this bullshit.
Extremely. Wait until 2.
Yeah. And then it's just like, oh, this is so dumb and frustrating, but I kind of enjoy the gameplay a bit. The Disney stuff is cool. But at this cutscene is like when it made me like, okay, I can understand how people like Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Because like he holds Kairi's hand, and then I'm like, well, what about Riku? And then that's what Sora's thinking. So like they finally gets to reconnect with Kairi. But he basically has to say, like, I can't go with you. We can't be together because I have to find our other best friend.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I know. And that's when they, like, let go of each other because they're holding on, but it's just like, I can't do this. I got to find my bro, like, our bro. And they're like, okay, then go do it. You will find each other eventually. And then, like, they let go. And as they let go, Simple and Clean plays.
Yeah.
Which I was just like, oh, I like this song. But then I was like, oh, fuck, it all makes sense now.
Yeah.
Like, those lyrics to the song literally are what's happening on screen right now.
Yeah.
It's like, it's okay that I'm leaving. Like, eventually, it's like, Simple and Clean is like the way you're leaving me right now. It's okay.
Yeah.
Like, we'll eventually meet each other again. It's like a happy goodbye, because eventually we'll meet each other. And then that's like literally the one part where I felt like emotional. Yeah. I was just like, oh,
felt good, didn't it?
Yeah, it felt like sweet. I'm like, oh, I get it now. Like, now this is cool. Like, I hope you do meet again. I had to go find I don't even like Riku Riku, but I'll go find him so we can like meet up again. It's so weird.
I'll do it for you, baby.
Exactly. After I click this, I like rewatched that scene on YouTube. I'm like, that's so cute. I enjoy this. I like the song that much more now. So like that's when it hit me. It only happened after 50 hours. But that's what honestly made me be like, maybe I should play these other games. Because I was like, I don't know about Kingdom Hearts. This is pretty fucking dumb. But then I hit that part. I'm like, okay, Kingdom Hearts.
You got me.
Take me on a journey. Let me see what happens. And that's the end of it, basically.
All
then
right.
you end, and then there's like more. There's like a little cutscene where they're walking to go find, like, we go find, and see the Pluto with the King Seal.
Well, the way you beat the game, because it's the final mix, it gives you the teaser to Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yes.
So you got the extra, like, hey, something else is happening.
I got 2 people talking on a beach.
Yeah.
And I did 2 hooded people talking on a beach. And then I got Sora and everyone walking to see the King Seal, and they're like, we got to go figure out what's going on. So they run after that. And then I also got a cutscene that I was like so confused at, which I understand now a bit into, where it's like a guy walking in like some modern town and he's fighting Heartless, and there's another guy looking at him on top of a thing with like a blindfold over him.
Yeah.
And they're like running at each other and they hand each other keyblades and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
This looks dumb. I guess I'll understand it later. But yeah, and then the game, boom, end.
And so the way Kingdom Hearts ends, basically you end on it's Sora, Goofy, and Donald on a winding path.
Yeah.
And they're looking for Riku and Mickey. That's how the game ends.
Yeah. So yeah, I have some other notes that I didn't get to.
Yeah,
Do you want me to
final
go through
thoughts, and then we'll do your
Yeah,
thoughts.
yeah. So like I would say these are some things that I just forgot to touch on. Riku's face is so goddamn wide. It is like a pancake. It is huge. It's so long. Like Sora's face makes sense, but every time I look at Riku's, he looks like Riku's. He looks like
Rico now.
It looks like a Ken doll that just got like smushed.
Oh, okay.
His face, his lips are he looks too perfect, but also like wrong. It's weird. I don't like it. Every time I look at Riku, I can't, especially when he's in his like bondage, heartless, like latex gear. It's like, ugh, dude, you're like 6. What are you doing? Everyone's feet are huge and unproportional.
It's Disney.
Yeah, but it's like the hands are normal, the feet are huge, and it just looks funny. Especially on like Riku and Sora, I get because they're wearing shoes. Kairi, like that's too much because like she's wearing flip flops. And same with like another character in Chain of Memories. They're just like looking at you. It's just like, what the fuck is this? I would say, okay, talking about the story. Like it made sense to me on like the most basic level, like light versus dark.
Yeah.
I would say I would compare the story of Kingdom Hearts to Sonic. Sonic versus good guys versus bad guys.
Oh, okay.
Good guys versus bad guys, and it's fighting. I have more thoughts on other Kingdom Hearts games and how it compares to Sonic. I'll talk about that later. Okay. But it was like on the most. It's like this is just like anyone. Like it's confusing, but like. In like basic terms, anyone can get it.
Okay.
Good guys versus bad guys. That's all you gotta know.
Gotcha.
You know. Yeah, I said like simple and clean. Now I have it on my Spotify playlist. I listen to it all the time. That's on Spotify, by the way. You can look it up. That and the remix are on Spotify. Put it on your playlist now. Hearing Mickey's voice is more jarring than Donald and Goofy somehow. Hearing like Donald and Goofy the entire time was okay, but then hearing Mickey, I was like, I couldn't believe it.
Really?
I was just like, this is too much. I don't understand. But also the voice casting, I found that I said this before, but they pulled off very good performances with the cringy lines that they had. I think David Gallagher was Riku, and then Billy Zane was Ansem.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
And also having older characters come back to reprise their roles was really cool, like James Woods as
they got a lot of official Disney like
people
voice actors to come back, or
even if they didn't, they had people to come back to like
they had the people who did maybe not the movie but the like direct to TV or direct to video sequels like play them, so they still sounded decent.
Like the one I was like, there's no way they're gonna pull off Genie, which they did, and then the Mushu. Yeah, which is one of the summons. Also, to touch on the summons, I thought the summons was a nice way of concluding characters that you can't really give a world, like Bambi and Dumbo, you know, and some other characters, like nice places. So I was like, that's a really cool place to put them and stuff. Yeah. I thought the voice cast was pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
That they have to do. Pull up your popcorn, take a seat. It's Adam Awards time, baby.
Oh shit!
This one I didn't put more. If you have any ideas for categories, you can ask me.
That's always ours.
But so hitting it off with the best moment. I'm gonna give it to the ending scene
Okay.
where they're holding hands.
Okay, yeah.
Because that is like I would attribute that to my love of Kingdom Hearts now. Maybe love is too much, but like me actually like looking for Kingdom Hearts merchandise and like caring about the rest of the plot was all because of that scene. So I'd say like
You do like
kudos.
you do like the moments, the
Kudos.
sensitive moments.
Yeah, kudos to Kingdom Hearts for actually making me feel something. I had most bullshit moments. Like that's like most bullshit moment is like that entire game. But I had some specific moments that
Go for
really fucking killed me. Like one was gummy routes.
Okay.
They weren't hard. They weren't like overly difficult, but they were just so useless and boring
Okay.
to me that I was like, this is bullshit. This should not be in the game. Take it out. And then I saw it was in Kingdom Hearts 3 and I'm like, why? Other bullshit moments was like pressing the biggest leading killer of Adam on playing Kingdom Hearts is pressing the wrong button at the wrong time. There's multiple times where like
So the UI.
Exactly, the UI was me like needed to heal myself. I do, and I realized like I accidentally go back into the menu, and now like it's either when I'm need to heal or like I need to do a move. Instead, I'm healing myself. I'm stuck, and then something hits me and I die, or I'm summoning something that I didn't want to, or I'm trying to use a potion on a character and I fuck it up and use it on myself. That's like what killed me most of the time, was trying to struggle with that UI. But the most bullshit thing that I had to deal with it, or deal with, that I didn't have to deal with, but it just pissed me off, was Winnie the Pooh's minigame in 100 Acre Woods, where you have to protect him from bees when he's flying up with a balloon.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it boggled my mind that this was in a video game. Like, jumping up to the points was like difficult, but they give you a button to make you go faster, but it only does one at a time and it doesn't trigger all the time. And like, there was no way to, like, you can't, maybe you can lock onto the bees. I have no idea. But there was no targeting thing on the bees. So whenever they flew over to Pooh, I would jump, I'd swing, I'd miss, I'd fall all the way to the bottom, and then Pooh would die. And I'd be like, why is this? Why is this a thing? Why is this a thing? Why do I even want to do it? I think you get a summon stone from it. That's why I tried hard on it. I think you get Bambi from that. Or Mushu. I have no idea.
I think you get Bambi.
But like, that was just like, the perspective was wrong, and it just felt like an intern made it in the company. And it was just like, God, it's just not good. It's just bad, not good. And it just frustrated me. It also frustrated, I didn't have to do it, but I put myself through the trouble of it for no reason. Because I'm dumb and my brain is small. Anyways.
It's okay.
What do you think the best song is?
Simple and clean.
Simple and clean. That, I'm going to give 2 honorable mentions though. The reorchestrated Halloween Town was very good. And also the song to Deep Jungle was based on nothing, but it was still good. I enjoyed it. Like the little just basic song. Yeah, the little beats and the little flutes and shit. Good shit. Shit. Best Keyblade. You'd think I'd like the one that does the most damage. No. The best looking Keyblade is the Halloween Town one. That one looks gothic and cool, and it's got a little pumpkin on it.
Yeah.
God, that's a good one. And also best world is Halloween Town. I would give it to that too.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. Like
I thought
that
you were
more
gonna say
than
Deep
anything.
Jungle.
No, I enjoyed Deep Jungle was the one that like blew me away. And honestly, I felt like the storytelling of it was way better than Halloween Town, but Halloween Town felt like
Fun.
It felt like this, you should make other worlds like this. You should do this. Every world I should go to, I should look like the characters from that world. Like, I see that they're doing that in Kingdom Hearts 3 now with the Toy Story and the Monsters Inc. Like, make me look like I belong there, you know? Like, let me meet most of the characters. Like, Halloween Town, you met more characters than you want. Let me visit interesting locales. And put, like, the most interesting song as the backing track, which they did. So, Halloween Town, you did it. And, yeah, I don't know any other awards. I probably should have put more. But, yeah.
Good shit.
Good shit.
All right.
Kingdom Hearts.
Final thoughts on Kingdom Hearts, Adam. Real quick.
I don't think it's a good game.
Okay.
I think the game of it is, like, bad.
Okay.
I understand the love of it now.
Okay.
After that ending cutscene. I like the idea that it's Disney-based, but it's not fully, like, that's not the story. Disney is just background to Kingdom Hearts. So if you go into Kingdom Hearts hoping to see Disney, you'll get it, but that's not what everything's about.
Okay.
I got frustrated with the mechanics, but you'll learn them later. And it got that collectathon-ish. So, like, I didn't like it, but I liked it.
so the aesthetic of Kingdom Hearts is very good,
yes.
in my opinion. The gameplay is pretty bad at points.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say the aesthetic of the Disney stuff. Some of the characters and stuff still made me laugh.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny watching.
Yeah.
Mickey fight beside.
Yes, yeah. But
Just wait until 2.
Yeah,
Shit goes down.
I think, but it definitely like it shot me on the trajectory to me being like, maybe I should try these other games because I want to know what the fuck this is all about.
Cool.
And I think I still enjoyed it. So I think it was a bad game, but like I liked going through it.
All right.
And I probably wouldn't mind going through proud mode like in a couple of years or something after I forgot about it and stuff and reliving all that pain. So if someone's going through Kingdom Hearts for the first time, you're gonna have to deal with like 10 hours, or not 10 hours, like 5 hours of bad levels. Bad like design.
Go deep jungle first.
Yeah, well, if you can. Deep jungle, you have to beat something first. But like I would say like you're gonna go through Destiny Islands, Traverse Town, like a Wonderland, Olympus is gonna be shitty. But once you hit deep jungle, if you like deep jungle, then keep playing. If you don't, it's gonna be more of that.
Yeah.
So yeah. Don't go in for Disney stuff. Like it's gonna be there, but it's not all what it's about. The game's mainly gonna focus start and end with Sora and its own fiction. So that's Kingdom Hearts.
All right. Well, I believe that will be...
I think we finished under Super Mario 64 for this one.
Yeah.
Because I think that was like 2 hours and more, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think we just made it.
I believe that is
Kingdom Hearts. Do you have any final
Kingdom
thoughts?
Hearts? No, I agree.
Said everything.
For a lot of it. I said what I want to say. I'm more here just to kind of put you in the path of where you want to say things.
Yeah.
And talk about, my feelings. I grew up a little bit with this game.
Mm-hmm.
I have much more heartfelt feelings for 2 than I do the first one. So that's just me. Yeah. I know a lot of people think 2 is the best one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you barely going through it, you start kind of seeing why a little bit.
Yeah.
But it'll grow on you.
Yeah.
But Kingdom Hearts is fantastic. Is a good series.
Yeah.
Maybe not the best when it comes to gameplay, but there's a lot they do right, and a lot that they fix later on that makes the games worth it. And the story is fun. Yeah. And the idea of Final Fantasy and Disney characters and weird fantasy
fucking
characters,
weird, dude, but I'm for it.
Works.
Yeah.
And it's unorthodox, but it melds very well together, and they figured it out, and they do it well.
I don't know if it melds together well, but it's like...
It melds together in in parts.
They try to make it work, and it's just like the idea of it is funny, and you have to stick around to see...
Yeah, you want to see what's happening.
Yeah. But yeah, that's
Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts, Betty. Oh yeah, so I'll just say I'm trying to go through the whole series right now before 3 comes out. We'll see what happens. We'll make videos on more games that I go through. So if you enjoyed Kingdom Hearts series and want to talk or hear opinions about someone who gets frustrated with it, get ready because I'll go through more about them.
Yeah.
So yeah,
awesome guys. Thank you for listening, everybody. If you're sticking around the whole 2 hours, you're just catching bits by bits. Thank you anyway. We appreciate all of you. We're going to separate it. I'm not going to just keep putting Kingdom Hearts after Kingdom Hearts. Yeah. So this might go up before some of the ones we've recorded before this. Yeah. Just to kind of change things up. So it's not just old game after old game. Yeah. But
it's our first PS2 game.
First PS2 game. This is the newest game.
Yeah, newest game. More to come.
No-Stalgia Podcast.
Yeah, more to come. So hope you enjoyed it.
Awesome, guys. Thank you very much.
See you later.
Bye.
Simple and let's sing it. Simple and clean is the way that you're making me feel tonight. It's hard to let it go. To let it go. And she goes, simple and clean.